get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
Good morning, rebels. How the hell are you? It's a beautiful day to be alive. My gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Welcome to America. Beating people in the streets.
Bright and early new dawn. Every headline, every story.
Thank you to our Black Belt members. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Good morning headlines with Skyjack Morgan. Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. With coffee in your cup, used to fill you right up. Cleansing weather on the go. Morning shows you need to know. Join us on this daily.
It's a beautiful day. Stay vigilant, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful one. My gosh, my gosh.
Feel the vibe. Sky will keep you.
It's a beautiful day in America.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I
hope you're having a great day today.
Information for you, darling.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm glad that you're alive. Thank you for being here, everybody. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm in America. You know what I'm going to do real fast? Thank you so much for being here. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator and free speech and critical thinking advocate, and I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be a loner to be a rebel. You could join the team. You know, it's better together. It's better together. It's better to overthrow the government together. Trust me. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You just can't. It's true. Trust. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but it's been a little hairy. It's been getting a little crazy, don't you think? It's good to see you still draw breath. I'm still darkening the doorsteps. I'm still doing a lot. Yes, it's better now. Thank you. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but Stephen Miller said he's going to avenge the blood of Americans. He's going to avenge the blood of Americans. But before we do that, we have to break the arms of our Marines. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're going to jump right in. Today is Thursday. It'll be the last stream of the week, I think, because tomorrow is my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Something like that. I don't know. I never had a lesson. But not the blood of the Epstein victims. The truth is, I guess the thing that we need to realize in America, that most people are okay with slavery. Most people are okay with child trafficking. Most people are okay with bigotry. Most people are okay with hatred. Most people are okay with all of the horrible things that you and I might be offended by. But you know what? Just because you're offended by racism, does that mean we all have to stop being racist? I mean, come on, you wokey. This is where we are in America. This is proof now that most Americans are perfectly okay with all sorts of despotism, tyranny, slavery, exploitation, as long as it doesn't involve them. As long as their children aren't the ones being sacrificed at the altar of Epstein and his billionaire class of do-nothings, as long as their children aren't being bought and sold by the billionaires, you're perfectly okay with it. As long as they're not on the receiving end of slavery, perfectly all right with slavery. As long as they're not being affected by racism, but the thing that's funny about it, about feminism and anti-racism and all these things, misogyny and stuff hurts men too, and so does racism. But whatever, racism hurts whites, but you can't convince them of that. They're perfectly all right with the status quo. Most people are. When you threaten the status quo, people get very upset because they are perfectly all right with the way things are. You have to drag them kicking and screaming. Kicking and screaming. And I want you to remember that kicking and screaming part, because boy, oh boy, did Senator Sheehy really just do this? Let's see.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Okay, so first it's just the cops beating up the Marine. That's okay. It's just the cops at first. Here we go. Here we go. Just cops.
America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. Out. This is wrong. And nobody wants to.
As you can see, everyone is perfectly all right with this Marine being manhandled by two cops. After all, what are they going to do about it? The cowed masses. What could we possibly do about it? But wait, it gets worse. They are going to permanently disfigure him. Now, here's your trigger warning. This Marine is about to be permanently disfigured by an elected official. I don't want to get into partisan politics, but I guess you can guess which party the senator is from that would literally get involved with police business, escalate things, and permanently maim a Marine veteran. Let's see.
Fight for Israel.
A reminder to all our
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
Okay, oh crap.
Out. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Okay.
His head. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sir, thank you for your service.
The senator broke his hand. The senator broke his hand.
Commandant, help him, please. Help him.
Senator
Commandant, he's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys, you're robots.
A U.S. senator.
You won't even look back. Look at you guys, you're like robots. Oh my God, what is happening? And you're not even looking back. Any of you four-star generals. Oh my God, what is happening right now? Eyes front, robots. Shame. Shame. Oh my God, you guys.
Everybody sit down.
What did I just see? I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please.
Oh my God, what is
That's all.
happening?
Okay, okay. No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Stuck.
It's disgusting.
Oh my God, you guys.
Sorry, does that hurt? Can you open it up a little bit just to like change the gap?
So, as you can see, the man's hand was stuck in this door because first the cops kicked it while his arm was in it, smashing his hand. But then the senator got involved and pulled the Marine's body so that both of his bones in his forearms snapped. And all of the generals stood by and did nothing about this Marine. Nothing. And all the people stood by and did nothing. Some people were crying. Some people shouted. But most of them did nothing. Nothing at all. It was not stuck because it wouldn't let go. No, his arm was in, and they opened the door and smashed it. It was wedged between two things, not because he wouldn't let it go. How the fuck is he gonna hold on? What was he holding on to, you moron? His arm was stuck between two doors, and they escalated and escalated and escalated. It's not because he was holding on to anything. It's because he was manhandled. Because they used violence against a guy who wanted to speak up against Israel and against our involvement in a meaningless war. It was freedom of speech versus the violence of the state. That's what we just witnessed. But wait, there's more. There's more than one angle if you're confused.
Hey guys, clear the hallways.
Out.
Clear the hallways. Clear the
Out, get out of here. Sit down, clear the hallways, get out, out, oh, out, ah. No, fuck you. How about that?
hallways, please. Clear the hallways, please.
Can you help him, please?
Yes, yes. Kevin, please is going there. Please through the hallways.
Oh my God. What happened? His hand got totally smashed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Palestine will be free.
And what about this war in Iran?
Oh my God.
And what about this war in Iran? What the fuck, lady? You just got here. What do you think this is all about, moron?
His arm.
Okay. Ah, fuck, my arm is fucking broke, bro. What are you gonna do to him? My left arm is broke. I understand. Don't fight.
Oh my God. Oh, you guys, come on.
I need you to move. You need to stop. Okay.
The fact that these police are, this is perfectly all right for everybody. But it's funny because the Capitol Police were the ones that the maggers got all in their face and killed 4 of them on January 6th. But now they love the January 6th. The January 6th guys, they love Capitol Police now because the Capitol Police are, you know, well, squashing any kind of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech versus violence. What wins out? Do you think that you have freedom of speech in this country? Do you think that they can't take it away? This is a Marine who served his country, a man who risked his life, probably his friends who died. I don't know who this guy is, but he's an older guy, so it makes me think that the man has seen action, but maybe not, maybe not, doesn't matter. He served his country, dedicated years of his life to this nation, and he still doesn't have freedom of speech. You think you have freedom of speech? You think the government won't take you out?
Brian, stop.
He's fighting for you, not for him.
They broke his arm. Oh my God. They totally broke it.
Oh man.
Please, can you get him some kind of medical attention?
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
Can you give him some kind of, don't worry, we'll get him some medical attention. We'll kick him in the street. We'll kick him in the head. That'll make him shut up. The pain will go right away when we give him a concussion.
It's great.
Just let go of my arm before you sit down.
Y'all step back, please. Please move
Can you
back.
get
Keep
him
this
some
walkway
medical
open.
attention?
Who needs her?
No, he broke his arm.
Okay. Would y'all just move aside then? That way people can still exit.
Josie, what happened?
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interrupt the hearing?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
I think we should have all the maggers go to Iran. They want to die for Israel so badly. Go. I see people. I see we got a lot of maggers in the chat today. You know, a lot of them are here. So go to Israel. Sign up, man. Sign up. They need plenty of cannon fodder. We're going to need plenty of cannon fodder for this all to go. Go fight for Israel in Iran. Marco Rubio already said that the only reason we got involved in Iran was because we heard through the grapevine that Israel might be bombing an Iranian target, and if that happened, that Iran might bomb us. So we better just go along with Israel. So now Israel's calling the shots. Like our Secretary of State is saying that Israel calls the shots. We are in war with Iran because we couldn't even talk to Israel about maybe, not bombing Iran and dragging us into a forever war. But no, we couldn't do that. We had to go along with it. We had to do what they said. Oh, you want to bomb Iran? That makes perfect sense. Let's go. Yes, let's put American soldiers at risk, in harm's way. These guys sign up for all that freedom and the flag and all that stuff, yes, sir, and all of this. They love all that shit. That's fine. I mean, it's not my bag, but Who am I? That's what you're into. Go for it. But what they ask in return is that they aren't put into harm's way by idiots for no reason. And yet we keep doing it. Marco Rubio, little Marco, he did it. He's get it. This war is stupid. It will cost lives and billions of taxpayer dollars, says Derek Vorman. And MAGA fools clap. Yeah, but you know what's funny about the MAGA fools is that they used to clap Donald Trump when he said that Obama is going to get us in Iran. He's going to bomb Iran, and it's never going to end. We're going to be stuck in Iran, and we love Iran, don't we, folks? We love them. We don't want to bomb anybody, and I don't like to bomb anybody. I am the peace president. I alone am your retribution. Don't you remember this? I mean, the fascist depends on amnesia. It is the most important part of fascism, is that you forget what happened just a few years ago. First of all, you got to forget 9/11. That's a big one, right? You got to forget that shit. You got to forget January 6th. That never happened either. But you also have to forget everything that Donald Trump has ever said about Iran, that we don't want to go to war with Iran and that he won't do regime change. Pete Hegseth, he thinks that little poetic turns are going to fool you. Are they going to fool you? We didn't go there for regime change, but hey, that regime sure did change. Whew, well, that's really wise. Wise, you're like a Shakespearean poet right now, man. You're like Spencer over here. You're so great. The regime, we didn't go in for regime change, but regime sure did change. They chanted death to America, but then they were gifted death from America. Oh yeah, am I right? It's a lot like Jeffrey Epstein. He loved saying shit like this. He said, he had a good one. He said that Donald Trump liked to grab them by the snatch, and now we're snatching grub in the system. Ugh. Jeffrey, Hegseth, Donald Trump, peas in a pod. They're like the same guys. Meanwhile, you're mostly Americans are completely okay with the child trafficking. We've completely forgotten about it. And we're okay with this war with Israel, too. I mean, with Israel. The Israeli-American war on Iran. Better put Israel always before us. Israel-American war on Iran. Wow. Brilliant. Yes, he liked to snatch grub. Well, Donald Trump liked to grab snatch, but Epstein had to snatch grub, is what he said. You cried about how Trump fed some fish, so don't expect anyone to take you seriously. Fed some fish? What are you talking about? Fed some fish? Oh, you mean when he murdered civilians? Oh, Jesse, no one takes you seriously because you have your nose so far up the ass of a president. You see, nobody takes a magger seriously because you're ignorant fools, but you're scary ignorant fools. And the problem is that most people don't care. We live in a world that doesn't care that people like Jesse here support Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and the billionaire class buying and selling working class children. Most people just don't care. And so evil people like these maggers, they get to keep going. They keep doing what they're doing. Because just like Hannah Arendt said, that the most evil things done in the world are usually committed while everyone else is busy trying to figure out if they want to be good or evil, what side they're on. They don't know what side they're on. And they're too busy to even figure it out. They don't know what side they're on. So what happens? You get morons who will cheer on the brutal treatment of a person who served this country. You hate the Marines. You hate the military. You want to kill our military. 6 people already dead, far more to follow. And yet yesterday I had someone in my chat complain about the 13 people who died in the suicide bombing during the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And it was like, 13? That's going to be small potatoes, honey. That's going to be nothing. 13. How many people did... Okay, so, here's an interesting fact for you. The drones that Iran has, and they have many, many of these drones, each one costs about $30,000 to $50,000, each one of these drones. And these drones, they're one-way tickets. They go, they get close to a target, they detonate. The interception missiles that they use, like you've seen with the Iron Dome and the missile defense system over in Kuwait, the Patriot missile system. Those guys, each missile costs about $1 million. And so they're running low. We, our friends, are running low on the interception missiles. And the drones, they're not running low. They have $50,000 a pop at the max, each one of these drones. What do you think is going to happen? This just in, it's going to last a long time. It doesn't matter. You could take their navy. It doesn't matter. We're not going to fight. You want to bomb all their tanks too? We're not having tank wars anymore, Pete Hegseth. Bomb all the tanks. Bomb all the boats. Take all the planes out of the sky. It won't matter. Just like it didn't matter in Afghanistan. We were there for 20 years with air superiority. They took all their tanks, took all their guns, did everything we did. And you know what? We still lost. Vietnam. We were there for 10 years. Total air superiority. There was nothing else flying in the sky except for our boys. And guess what? Still lost after 10 years. Did nothing change? Nothing changed at all. A lot of dead people. We killed 3 million people. Something like 1 million Cambodians. But, nothing changed.
Is going to attend the Dignified transfer for these families. Given what Secretary Hegseth said this morning.
Ooh. Now you're a general. Again, if you're going to insult me, please just do a spell check. Just like basic, you illiterate cucks. You're embarrassing yourselves. You have any answer for everything? Yeah, I do. It's called, I'm not a general. I'm a historian. I studied history and English. I read lots of books. That's all. I've spent most of my life doing shit like that. So, whatever. No, I'm not a general. I know math, basic math. And you know who else isn't a general, by the way? Pete Hegseth isn't a general. And he doesn't know basic math and basic history. All you need to know is a little bit to be better than Pete Hegseth. I mean, literally, I know teenagers with a better head on their shoulder than fucking Pete Hegseth. Better heads on their shoulders than Pete Hegseth. He's an embarrassment. Kind of like Caroline Leavitt.
Is it the position of this administration that the press should not prominently cover the deaths of U.S. service members?
No, it's the position of this administration that the press in this room and the press across the country should accurately report on the success of Operation Epic Fury and the damage it is doing to the rogue Iranian regime that has threatened the lives of every single American in this room. If the Iranian regime had their choice, they would kill every single person in this room.
If they had their choice, good thing they've never had that choice. That's like saying, like, well, if we let the chickens run free, they would eat all of us. All the chickens would eat us. If we stopped killing chickens, the chickens would rise up against us and kill every American. What? This is just chopped up. People buy into this shit. Well, if the Iranians had the chance, well, good thing they don't have the chance. There's 90 million of them. They're poor as fuck. They don't have much going for them. They are an oppressive religious regime. I mean, we are turning into an oppressive religious regime. So I guess we should look at Iran and realize that that's our future. Iran is what we're trying to become. America's attempting to be like Iran. Oh, you don't like dissidents? You don't like people speaking up? Kill them. Shoot them in the face, like Alex Preddy and Renee Good. Oh, you don't like Marines standing up and speaking their mind? Break their arms. Punch them in the face. Is that different from Iran? I mean, Iran does it to a greater scale. But is it really that different? I mean, the position of the American government and the position of the Iranian government, especially in its relationship to its own people, are very similar. Very similar. Sure, they might be a little bit more extreme, but I mean, in principle, it's the same.
And so we can all be very grateful that we have an administration and that we have men and women in our armed forces who are willing to sacrifice their own lives for the rest of us in this room and for every American across the country and for every troop that is based in the Middle East. That's what these...
It's true. The MAGA morons are basically the Taliban. They're the American Taliban, and I'm amazed that more MAGA people aren't moving to Afghanistan. Go to Afghanistan. People are always like, "How come you don't love America?" I love America. In America, you get to say what you want to say without having your arms broken by thugs. Not anymore, because now we have the Taliban in control. And you say Christian Taliban, but they're not even Christian. They're fake Christians. You know what I mean? They don't believe in the teachings of Christ. They're anti-Christian. Donald Trump hates Jesus Christ and Christianity. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Parallelish says happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Thank you so much. I don't know how to play that stupid song. I hate that song. Happy birthday to me. I'm so glad I'm an old man. I'm an old man, everybody. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm an old, stinky old man. I'm just a stinky old man who likes to complain about the government. What am I going to do, you know? God bless America. God bless America. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her with the life and the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Claiming that it was front page news about these 6 service members who were killed.
That's not what the secretary said, Caitlin, and that's not what the secretary meant, and you know it. You know you are being disingenuous. There is not. We've never had a secretary of defense who cares more.
Drones get through or tragic things happen. It's front page news. I get it. The press only wants to make the president look bad.
Yeah,
as you know, we cover the deaths of U.S. service members under every president.
The press does only want to make the president look bad. That's a fact.
The press only wants to make the president look bad, okay? By reporting that people were killed in Iran. They're trying to make, did people get killed in Iran, and is that front page news, Caroline? Caroline says no, because it makes the president look bad. Is that shocking to you? Do you think that it's front page news that Americans die in a meaningless war that Israel told us to do because we're Israel's rent-a-cop now? Is it front page news that Americans have died overseas in Iran, that we've evacuated tens of thousands of Americans from 14 different countries because of this idiotic thing? 10 Skyjack memberships! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Thank you so much. It's my birthday. It's my birthday stream, everybody. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Maybe I should do a stream tomorrow, but I'm supposed to go. I should do a stream tomorrow. It's my birthday. Who else should I hang out with but you guys? You're my keep fighting injustice. Trump is a liar fascist. Well, ain't that the fact? Lying fascists. We love lying fascists in America. Thank you, Navia, for the 10 exclusive gifts, the 10 gifts of Skyjack Morgan membership. Skyjack Morgan membership, you get extreme content and exclusive streams, extreme streaming. You get all sorts of cool stuff and a guitar recital. This month, we're doing the songs of Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney, that's right. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Today, Art Yon, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Skyjack Morgan memberships. That Chip Guy, 5 Skyjack Morgan memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Chipperoo, Chipperino, Chipperoli, Chipper Rock and Roller, Chipperock. I love you. Thank you so much for that. 5 Skyjack Morgan gifts. I appreciate that. It's important. Oh, look at that. Wait, someone said, Navi, you think I should do one tomorrow? I'll do one tomorrow. Groucho? Nurse Rod, who are you going to believe? Me or your own eyes? Who are you going to believe? It's not front page news. Listen, it's not front page news to have a goddamn all the death toll on the front page, okay? It's not front page news to have the death toll on the front page of our war in Iran. Stop talking about Americans dying in the war in Iran, okay? Chips, stop mentioning it. Don't mention the people dying in Iran. Don't mention it. It's not something it's not even newsworthy. Donald Trump says it's not newsworthy. Stop talking about it. More people will die if you talk about the people who die in Iran. Don't you know that? Don't you know? How dare you talk about the dead soldiers in Iran, you son of a bitch? You goddamn...
Especially you. No, listen to me. Especially you and especially CNN. And the Secretary of Defense cares deeply about our war fighters and our men and women in uniform. He travels all across this country.
Oh, he travels across the country and he tells everybody, get used to death and destruction. We're going to kill more people and more of our boys are going to die. Woohoo!
To meet with them, to connect with them, and your network has hardly ever probably reported on that. You also had the chairman of the Joint Peace.
Well, you're in luck because CNN is no more. CNN will soon be run by Barry Weiss. It's owned by the Ellison family. Pretty soon, we are not going to be anywhere near able to enjoy CNN. I mean, already it's kind of shitty, but CNN, it's almost gone, man. You don't have to worry about CNN anymore, Caroline. CNN's gone, man. By the end of the year, 6 months from now, Caroline, CNN will be gone. There will be no more CNN, not as we know it. 2 years. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Channel members get exclusive treatment in the chat and everything else. Americans die every day. Do you hear about every death? It's just media sensationalism. Whose side are you on? I love it. Yeah, whose side are you on? Americans die every day. Why are you worried about Americans dying for Israel? Don't you know Americans die all the time? I mean, they died. Six people died of in car crashes this weekend. You know, why are you so worried about that? 200 people died in car crashes across America over the weekend, and you're worried about 6 people dying in Iran. I mean, come on, can we get some perspective here? We killed 160 little girls in a school. We bombed a school. We bombed a school, everybody. That was how this whole thing started, just so you know. We went in and preemptively struck a school full of children in Iran. Good old America. Good times. Good times.
Chiefs, Chairman Kane, who's a brave patriot, standing alongside the secretary at the Pentagon this morning, again expressing his condolences to these families. And I just told you that the President of the United States will be attending their dignified transfer. So please,
That's not making the president look bad. That's showcasing that.
We expect you to cover that as you should. We expect you to cover that as you should, Caitlin. But you and your network know that you.
She's got a lot of balls now because all of a sudden she knows that there's no more CNN. Caitlin's not going to have a job pretty soon. 6 months from now, there will be no CNN. I think CNN should go balls to the walls right now and just let it all out. Let your balls hang out, CNN. What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose, CNN?
Take every single thing this administration says and tries to use it to make the president look bad. That is an objectable.
I always love this thing. Like, you're trying to make the president look bad. Bro, he bombed a school full of little girls, like a little girls' school. Donald Trump kills little girls. There's no way. Like, Donald Trump is a child murderer. He killed millions of kids in Africa. He killed all sorts of kids in all the various bombings that we've done. And he was involved in the Trumpstein crime circle, buying and selling little girls. And then he bombed a little girl's school in Iran. Donald Trump hates little girls. I feel like when he broke into the dressing rooms during the teen pageant thing and he wanted to look at their beautiful naked bodies, as he said in his own words that he loved watching beautiful naked bodies who were teenagers, and so he broke in to their dressing room because he owned the pageant and he can do that. Barf. I think he just did it to torture them because he hates little girls. He hates them. When he had a daughter who was 12 or 13 and he said he wanted to have sex with her, would it be surprising if he did just to harm her, just as like a power play? He's turned on by his own children because he feels like he owns them. Donald Trump is only turned on by those he owns. It's a common practice with billionaires and the ruling class. That's what ruling class is. So that's how you get Madame Bovary and these like Henry VIII types. It's always the same. People get too much money, too much power, and power is like salt water. The more you drink it, the thirstier you get.
Fact.
I don't think covering troop deaths is trying to make.
If you're trying to argue right now that CNN's overwhelming.
What about the mullahs hiding behind children? Oh man, we've heard this one a lot. Who does that remind you of? Oh, we had to bomb the hospitals because Hamas has a camp under the hospital. Okay, yeah. It's funny. There's never been any evidence of this. It's always this thing that they. What about Hamas hiding under the school? They're hiding under the school. Okay. Yeah. I don't think so. Because clearly it's not working. I love this idea. They're hiding under the school because they think we won't bomb schools, but I'll show you. We'll show them we don't mind killing children. That's what you're saying. That's what this statement means, David Bork. The mullahs are hiding behind children because they think that we won't bomb schools. We bomb schools. We love bombing schools. We'll bomb the shit out of some schools. Americans love killing children. We have proven that over and over and over again. And so why would they think that hiding behind the children would work? I don't think it's true. Something isn't adding up. Something's just not adding up. Hamas is just as bad as the Trump administration. Yeah, almost. Except Hamas is honest. The only difference between Hamas and Donald Trump is that Hamas actually negotiates in good faith. Israel puts military bases under residential centers. Yeah. Because, well, they need to protect those residential centers, don't they? Maybe that's projection. Maybe that's what it is, Steve. It's that Israel is saying that, oh, they hide behind children. They must because that's what we do. It's kind of like how MAGers are always saying that, oh, you defended Biden. No, I didn't. I never defended anything Biden did. What are you talking about? They say that because they will defend Donald Trump to the death. Because it's their identity. Donald Trump has hijacked their identity. He's like the body snatchers. He's like Kiefer Sutherland in that Body Snatcher movie where he's like, have you ever seen the Body Snatchers?
Coverage is not negative of President Donald Trump. I think the American people would tend to agree. And
the American people would tend to agree. They always say that when they have no fucking evidence. The American people want this. The American people want to see Donald Trump at the end of a rope at this point. What are you talking about? The American people would agree. You guys are so mean to him. He tore down the East Wing and he's building a ballroom for him and his rich friends. Well, that's one narrative. Okay, what's the other narrative? The American people want a ballroom. That's not true. No American was like, you know what I think we need? A place for the billionaires to party with the president, man. How come we don't have one of those? There's no place in America for the president to party with billionaires. this giant country of ours, there's just not been a venue. There just has never been a venue to support partying with billionaires. I don't know why we haven't thought of building a venue from sea to shining sea. They just haven't thought of it. So Donald Trump had to think of it. He had to build a ballroom. Perfect. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom. The most beautiful ever. Hijacked identity, indeed. It's Donald Sutherland. You know the Donald Sutherland. Thank you. We're winning. Yes, we're winning. We're all done. We're just winning. Giant courtroom for prosecution. Ooh, maybe that's really what he's building is the new Nuremberg trial arena where we can just have... I love this idea. Maybe that's what he's actually building is the Nuremberg trial area. I like this. I like this very much. Thank you. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Skyjack Morgan. There's my name. How come this ain't working? Oh, classic minimum. I like it this way. Skyjack Morgan, independent. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. This is Morning Sky, the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Stick the thumb up your butt. Hit the thumb. Punch the thumb. It's the funnest thing you could possibly do this morning. Oh, here's another angle. Here's another angle of this Marine having his arm broken by the senator. Okay, so the senator is the guy in the suit right there. Watch what he does.
Out! No one wants to fight for Israel!
His hand.
Oh, God damn it. You can hear the bones crack. Ah, shit. Did you see it? Did you see the bones in his arm crack? Oh, shit, man. They're lucky his bones didn't pop through that suit. God damn it. They broke the shit out of his arm. My God. This is what we do to people who speak their minds in America. They're lucky. He's just lucky we didn't just nail his tongue to the pillory board, you know? That's what they used to do in the days of kings, you know? That's what King George would have done. He would have taken you outside and nailed your tongue to the board out front. I guess that's what kings do. Maybe that's what they should have done. We broke a Marine's arm because he stood up and said, we don't want to die for Israel. And the senator is the one who did it. All parties involved are loathsome. There's no good guys. I don't know, Steve. You see, there's this thing about it, Steve. The violence of the state. Is that what you don't think there's a good guy here? The violence of the state. Why does the state exist only to commit violence? That guy was not being violent. He was saying, I don't want to die for Israel. Our people don't want to die for Israel. I'm a Marine. I served in this country. I serve for this country. We do not want to die for Israel. And so they broke his fucking arm. Get out of here! You can't say that! Get out of here! Like they freak out. Did you see the level of freak out? If they weren't freaking out and answering speech with violence, there is a good guy here. It's the guy talking and not being violent. That's the good guy. You guys are the ones telling me all the time, Sky, you're glorifying violence. You're talking about killing Nazis. No, I'm not. No, it's not me. I'm saying that we should get involved and protect people like this guy who's having his arm broken. And he's not holding on. It's smashed between this thing. They closed the other door on his hand. And this stupid senator, he had to be a tough guy. He had to be a tough guy and get involved. Look at him.
Hand.
Look at him. He's still breaking it.
Hand.
You see? He's not holding on. He's stuck.
Let go of your hand.
Let go. He's not holding on. He can't move his arm.
Sitting U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
Look at, they're still pulling him.
Sir.
Control your Senate.
We're stuck in the door. Okay, sir.
A U.S. Senator just broke the hand of a Marine.
Hand's stuck.
You see? You tell me again that he's holding on. He didn't read the fine print. He's got buyer's remorse, not a good person. I know you're joking now. He didn't read the fine print that when you're a Marine, you lose all of your freedoms of speech. You lose all of your rights as an American. I forgot about the fine print there. Totally, yes. And he's a veteran. Yeah, they broke his goddamn arm. They gave him a compound fracture. He's got two bones broken in his arm. in half. They broke his goddamn arm in half. And they're like, let go. I have no movement. You know, when you break your arm, you can't do anything. There's nothing. This is all jello after that. And they're like, stop fighting. It's like, my arm is broken. You can hear him. He goes, my arm is broken. Stop fighting. My arm is broken. Stop fighting. And you know why they do that, right? You know why they do that? Because they want to fool their body cameras. If they say things like that with their body cameras on, it makes it seem like the guy's putting up a fight. They're trained to say these things because the body cam can't really pick up everything when there's a lot of action and they're really close to them. And so if you say things like, stop resisting, there's been all sorts of cases where they're screaming, stop resisting and beating the shit out of somebody. And another camera that they don't know about is showing that he's not resisting at all. It's happened many, many times. They always say stop resisting when they're beating the shit out of you. Let go. Shut your mouth. Stop resisting. Stop fighting. And he keeps going, my arm is broken. Remarkable. You like Little Print? Mm-hmm. All agency gone when joining the military, I guess. Yeah, you lose all of your agency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah, insane. Yeah, there's all sorts of, it's happened lots of times. They always say stop resisting as they're beating the shit out of you and you're not moving. As you're unconscious, they're screaming stop resisting.
Just broke the hand of a Marine. You're a coward.
Look, there's the senator. Now senator runs away. Look at him run. He's running now.
That's why you got kicked out, fat ass.
Everybody sit down, please. Sit down, please. Everybody sit down, please.
See, he's still stuck.
I'm getting out of here.
He's still stuck. And people watch. MAGA has already started. You've already seen them in my chat today. He wouldn't let go. He's literally stuck. They've let him go and he can't get his arm out. He's stuck because they slammed the door on his arm and then yanked his body when the senator got involved. And now his arm is broken and throbbing between the two doors. And he's stuck like an animal in a trap.
Everybody sit down, please. Is your hand okay? No, it's not.
This is disgusting. Disgusting.
Just pull it out.
Just pull it out.
Orange County Memorial.
Just pull it out. Just pull it out. What are you doing? But we respect our soldiers in America. All the soldiers that fought and fell for our freedoms, because that's what soldiers fall for, right? Our freedoms, not for oil interests, not for Israel. They fall for our freedom. I've been told that since I was a little boy. They fell for flag and freedom. So we would never desecrate their memorials, would we?
To Vietnam War veterans is being torn down today. KTLA's Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost is live in Fountain Valley with the reason for the demolition. Hi, Chip.
Yeah, hello there. Yeah, here behind me is where what was supposed to be a $1 million Vietnam War wall memorial once stood, but it stands no more. This morning, it was torn down before ever being opened to the public and is now part of disgraced former Orange County Supervisor Andrew Doe's legacy. Wednesday morning, a Vietnam memorial wall that county officials say someone was paid $1 million to build was torn down before ever being completed or being presented to the public. Convicted and disgraced former Orange County Supervisor Andrew Doe was behind the project. Doe pled guilty in 2024 in a bribery case involving his funneling of millions of dollars from the county to the Viet America Society and Peter Pham, who was also indicted by the feds. In his plea agreement, Doe admitted that $1 million of those dollars was given to the group to build a Vietnam War memorial wall. But when county officials asked for records about how that portion of the money was spent, his successor, Janet Nguyen, told us in November they got nothing back.
There's not a lot of documents on the site. We don't know what was spent and how it was spent. We don't know what materials was used. We don't know anything.
And when Nguyen visited the wall to see what that money had paid for, she expressed disgust at what she saw.
When I saw this, it's a disgrace. It's so heartbreaking to see that this is how we honor our veterans. It is not. This is not who we are.
I think it is who we are.
Nguyen said that
I think it is who we are. We don't honor our veterans. Our president right now is a guy that went to Normandy and went to see the bodies from World War II and said they were a bunch of suckers and losers. That's what he calls our military. People like my uncles who went and fought for this country. People like my grandfather who went and fought for this country. I have lots of family member and friends who joined this fucking fight for the country bullshit. And this is what you get. This is what you get used for an embezzlement scheme. And they, oh, it's a disgrace. I can't believe they would do this. No, that's what they've always done. They've always used the poor to fight battles for the rich and then piss on their graves. That's what they do. That's what Donald Trump does. That's what Pete Hegseth is doing right now. That's what Caroline Leavitt just did. Caroline Leavitt just told us that Americans dying overseas in the Israel-Iran conflict, that's not front page news. And if you report on it, it makes the president look bad. So you shouldn't report on American soldiers dying because it might make the president look bad. And that is what the press is supposed to be worried about. Last time I checked, the press's whole job is to make the president look bad, make other people look bad. That's what the press's job is. They're a bunch of trolls. They're supposed to make people look bad in pursuit of the truth, in pursuit of daylight. Daylight's the best disinfectant. All the way from this county supervisor, all the way to the president of the United States and everyone in between, the Capitol Police, the generals sitting there watching a Marine have his arm broken because he had the gall to say that Americans don't want to die for Israel. Yeah, I used to talk to my uncles. One of my uncles went to Korea and the other one went to Vietnam. And I would talk to them about the wars, you know. And as a little boy in America, I kind of wanted to be a soldier, you know. I'm so glad I did not go down that route. I'm lucky I had bad asthma. Yes, they also assaulted the Marines. We just watched the Marine have his arm broken in front of everybody. If you go back a little bit, you'll see it. We are desecrating Marines, the Army, everybody. We're shooting them out of the sky, literally. 3 people we killed with friendly fire. We shot down 3 jets. We allow it.
All right, now for more reaction to all of tonight's stories, Deputy White House Chief of Staff and Homeland Security.
There we go. This guy. Oh, Stephen Miller, king of the Nazis. Nazi King Stephen Miller is coming back to Sean Hannity. Let's see what he's got to say, huh? Isn't he great?
Advisor Stephen Miller. By the way, I've known you and your wife, Katie, for a long time. That was one tough interview she gave me on her podcast that she just launched. Woof, that was, I don't know if you had a chance to see it yet, but it was tough.
Well,
you Millers are tough.
Interrogations like that every single day, Sean. You only had to do it one time.
It was rough. Asking questions that I'd never answered before. You know, I am tired of the absolute ignorance of some people in the punditry class and the Democratic Party, whoever it happens to be. Oh, Donald Trump did this on behalf of Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, Bibi Netanyahu made the decision to go to war, not us. That's enough. That's enough. I mean, if Bibi Netanyahu, the king of Israel, if he is the one calling the shots of when we go to war, yeah, we went to war for him. That's what it is. There's no way. Like Rubio said it. Rubio said the only reason we went to war with Iran was because Israel was going to do it anyway. And if we let Israel do it, then Iran would bomb us. So we had to bomb them. What? So Israel decided to go to war with Iran, and so that meant that we had to go to war with Iran because they did, and we couldn't talk them out of it because we're a bunch of simps and losers now? Cool.
Donald Trump does not do anything based on what anybody asks. He's of all the people I know, he is a man that knows his own mind and his agenda, and he is America first.
He's This does not seem like America first. It's not America first if Israel's calling the shots. That ain't America first. I don't know. Get it through your MAGA brains that this is not America first. You guys, Like, oh my God. He's America first and knows his own mind. Donald Trump doesn't know his own mind from a hole in the ground. Donald Trump has his head so far up his ass that he's giving himself a prolapsed anus, which is why he has to wear diapers every day. Donald Trump doesn't know. Donald Trump talks like a man in the memory ward suffering from late stage dementia. The man's 80 years old. He does not have his faculties. He's eaten shit his whole life. He's had everything handed to him. His neuroplasticity is zero. He's got nothing. The man's never lifted a barbell. The dude has the strength of a 3-year-old. He barely can walk up and down a ramp. He can't breathe. He can't breathe. He can't even breathe. He has to pay people to have sex with him or for him, and he has to buy brides from Eastern Europe. Like, this guy's a loser. He couldn't even find women here to fuck him because there's no amount of money that would have an American woman marry this piece of shit. He had to pay porn stars who are notoriously okay with almost anything. That's the only way he gets laid, is buying and selling children, paying for it, buying women from overseas. He bought Melania from Epstein. It never stops with this guy. I'm just a truck driver and I slept through high school. These guys played ball, got the girls, and joined the military. Yet I was smart enough to know joining the service was the fastest way to... Well, yeah, I mean... Thank you so much. Absolutely right. I agree with you. To become a burnt offering on the altar. Well, you're right about that. And you know what? The only thing I disagree with you on this statement, Steve, is that you are not just a truck driver. You are a working class American, salt of the earth. You are the one that keeps America. You're the oil in the machine of America. Way to go. They played ball, got all the girls, joined the military. Do you think that's what they did? But hey, you're not just a truck driver. There's such thing as just a truck driver. I like truck drivers. I like working class people. I like workers. I like people I like the people who are the labor and the backbone, the spine of this country. But hey, aren't military men just another laborer that's being exploited? Isn't that what a military is? The military is just another labor class exploited by billionaires. Isn't that what it is?
Second part of this is there are those people that define the Trump doctrine as isolationism. Well, when you take out the ISIS caliphate, Soleimani, Baghdadi, his friends dropped the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan, 14 bunker busters on Iranian nuclear sites, and put together this incredibly successful mission to date.
Incredibly successful. Really? I mean, we killed the Ayatollah. Was that success? They still haven't determined what the they haven't said anything about what the objectives of this operation is. Like, is it to kill the Ayatollah? Was that what it was?
Don't think that people understand the Trump doctrine is not isolationism. Maybe you can help set them straight, because I'm not too effective, I guess.
The president has made clear that he believes America's awesome military might should be used to protect and defend America's interests, not to surrender the world to our adversaries, to our enemies, to those who would do us harm, not to surrender the world's resources.
My friend, I know everyone is telling me to talk about the Marine who got his arm broken, but we've watched it twice now from two different angles. It's a long show. I've been on the air for an hour. We talked about it. That's what we're talking about today, is the Marine getting his arm broken, the fact that we don't have freedom of speech in this country, the fact that even if you fought for this country, you don't have your rights, that they will trample on them, that a sitting senator is the one who broke his goddamn arm. That just shows you that our Senate does not support us. The Senate is not doing the will of the people. The Senate does not represent us. The Senate is corrupt just as much as the president. And we should have known that. You should have known that. Everyone should see that. The Senate is corrupt. The Senate is in cahoots with the president. The Senate is literally getting involved in violent altercations with people who are trying to speak their minds about life and death situations, saying that they don't want to die for Israel. We've been talking about it. It's basically all we're talking about today. And we did show him getting his arm broken from two different angles today. Maybe there'll be more. Who knows?
Forces, lanes of commerce, or capacity to keep our citizens safe. No, America first means America will be the greatest, most unquestioned, unmatched power in the world. And it means we will defend American lives. And yes, we will avenge American blood.
Avenge American blood and defend American lives. Wait a second. The Marine, you're right, that Marine yesterday we watched is getting deported because when he was a teenager, he overstayed his visa, but he was still selected to serve in the Marines. He went to Iraq in the 90s to kill people for us. And now, 30 years later, we're saying, now we're going to deport you. They won't even give him a hearing. He's like super Marine, and they won't even let him stay in the country.
Iran has waged war against the American people, this regime, for 47 years. They took our embassy hostage. They bombed our Marines in Beirut. They kidnapped, tortured, and murdered the CIA station chief. They have maimed and wounded and attacked thousands of American troops. All of that American blood spilled by this regime. And President Trump for years has said, we will not allow a regime that sheds the blood of our citizens, that menaces our people, that spreads terrorism around the world, that trains proxy armies. We will not allow that regime to have missiles that can reach our troops, that can reach our bases, that someday in the future could reach the American mainland, and certainly will not allow that regime to have nuclear weapons. But what you're
they were nowhere near nuclear weapons. We've been told that they were going to get nuclear weapons every week for the last 1 million weeks. Since I was a little boy, they've been telling me that the Ayatollah is going to get missiles. Yeah, they're real scary, those Iranians. Be careful. They're going to take us over. Better be very, very afraid. How come you guys are so afraid of the Iranians? You guys sure are scared. You guys are scared of everything. Man. I saw someone in the chat say, why are we so Israel first? Why? Because they are our military. We want military might in the Middle East to control the Iranians. And even though most of these assholes hate Jews, they hate Muslims more. And so in order to keep the oil flowing the right direction, they love money is the big thing, right? They want the oil. Before they used to want the gold of the Middle East. Now they want the oil of the Middle East. And they're going to get it. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to use Israel and their situation, their not situation, but their, where they sit, their geographical situation to wage war against countries who don't play ball. How can you force them to keep giving us all the oil and not give it to the people who live there? How can you force them to do that without Israel? You need Israel. That's why. There's no other reason. You want Israel to be like your little outpost out there. In Saudi Arabia, they got a king, they're really hard to bully around. I mean, we bully Saudi Arabia. It's really hard, though, to bully them around. It's hard to bully around Kuwait. So we got bases out there in those countries, too. But Israel has nukes. Israel has Harrier jets. Israel has 50 caliber machine guns and all the rest. And a golden dome that from which you can shoot behind. You can shoot behind from the Golden Dome or the Iron Dome, whatever, and no one can attack you. You can operate with impunity in Israel. Isn't that great?
Seeing right now, Sean, is a military under President Trump's leadership that's not fighting politically correct, that isn't fighting with its hands tied behind its back. One of the reasons I fear, Sean, that some people in this country lost faith in the military and the capacity to use that military to defend us is because we had a woke Pentagon, because we had a military.
Yes, that was the problem. The Pentagon was so woke.
Who at the very highest levels, not the warfighters, was forced to fight a less than full fight. What you're seeing now, Sean, is a military that is unleashed in all of its lethal prowess to go out and seek, destroy, and kill the enemy, which is what militaries are for.
Shock and awe on steroids and human growth hormone. And if I hear one more...
Human growth hormone? Sean, why are you talking about human growth hormone? That's a little weird, isn't it?
I don't know why Donald Trump did this. Listen to your president. The president said, we're doing it for the future. We're doing it so that we don't have to...
Listen to your president. They never lie.
...face a great threat from a radicalized, Islamo-fascist regime that calls for death to America. I mean, it's that simple. It's not complicated, but some people have a hard time comprehending it, and it's beginning to slightly annoy me.
Yes, and one more.
This is so it's just so disgusting. Like, there's people who watch this and gobble this shit up. Watching Sean Hannity tell you that they're an Islamist extremist. Listen to your president. It's not complicated. Listen to daddy. No, I'm a grown up. I don't need to listen to fucking some bullshit president who rapes little girls. Sorry. No, Sean. No, Sean, I'm not going to be listening to the president anytime soon, or any president anytime soon, because presidents are flawed. Presidents are horribly flawed, and they continue to claw power away from the American people and into their own pockets so they can enrich themselves. It's a disgusting cycle that needs to stop. I'm not going to listen to your president. What? That's not American. Is he a king? Listen to your president and do what you're told? That's what they're screaming over on Fox News. That's what Herr Goebbels is saying over here on Fox News.
The point, Sean, is that he wasn't going to let Iran strike first. He wasn't going to let this regime make the first attack, as he feared and believed they would, on American soldiers and American troops. Wasn't going to happen. He was going to decapitate that regime. So whether you're talking about what we're doing to fight the
So regime change.
drug cartels in the Western Hemisphere, if you're talking about the Maduro operation, if you're talking...
Right, it's about drugs. It's always about drugs. It's about drugs and nukes, not about oil. Yes, Venezuela and Iran are founding members of OPEC, the number 1 and number 4 oil reserves on planet Earth. Yeah, but it's not about oil. It's about nukes and drugs. Does anybody believe that it's about nukes and drugs? Does anybody believe this? It's been 6 days. We've been killing people. You love the drugs. Yeah, they're not so bad, are they? Ha ha ha. We spent upwards of billions of dollars in the first week in Iran. I know. Bill Clinton exonerated Trump. Oh, did he now? Yeah. Bill Clinton exonerated Trump. Bill Clinton, the guy who is known for... Do you remember what Bill Clinton... Can anybody remember what Bill Clinton got impeached for? Can anybody in the chat remind me what Bill Clinton got impeached for? Oh, yeah, it was lying under oath. Nobody trusts Bill Clinton. What, you trust Bill Clinton now? Bill Clinton, famous liar under oath, said he doesn't remember Donald Trump being in places. Not that I recall. You believe him? All of a sudden, Bill Clinton's word is good for maggers. As long as Bill Clinton says something nice about Donald Trump, then they're like, he seems like an honest man to me. Unbelievable. You guys are so, God, you're so deep in the cult that you will flip-flop on Bill Clinton? Like, you guys can't keep a fucking thought in your head for 5 seconds. You hate Bill Clinton. We all hate Bill Clinton. He's a rapist, a liar. And yet now he's your friend because he might have said something nice about Donald Trump. I watched the hearing. I didn't see him say anything nice about Donald Trump. He did not exonerate anybody, but it's pretty hilarious. Pretty hilarious.
About Midnight Hammer or Operation Epic Fury. This is a president who's making clear the world's superpower will not shirk from doing what is necessary to protect the quality of life that every American has an absolute right to enjoy.
I love that Donald Trump gets convicted of fraud and people are like, I like him. He's hunting fraudsters and waste, fraud, and abuse. But he was the guy convicted of fraud. Yeah, but we like him. All right, that's weird. We trust Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton? You trust Bill Clinton? Well, he was under oath. He was impeached for lying under oath. Yeah, but we trust him. We trust him now. What? What the hell? This is how fascism wins. You are an amnesiac. You need to remember things. Like, lock them up, write it on a Post-it note, you weird little dementia patients. I don't know why America... Do I live in a country of dementia patients? Or do all of you have dementia? Donald Trump was convicted of fraud. Bill Clinton was impeached for lying under oath. And he did lie under oath. He should have been convicted and removed. But whatever. We don't do that anymore. Actually, we've never done it. We've never removed someone from office. But we should. We should get in the habit of removing presidents for lying. Because if lying doesn't matter, then the republic is unhealthy and cannot. It will crumble. If lying doesn't matter, the republic will crumble. And I think we're seeing it crumble because we have a liar in chief right now. You can't trust the president. You can't trust anything he says. Sean Hannity thinks you should trust him, though. Sean Hannity thinks you should trust him. They didn't forget they only care about their cult. I guess that's right, Nathy. Maybe that's exactly what it is, Nathy. It's just that they don't care. Just like they don't care about working class children being bought and sold by billionaires. They don't care. They don't care about slavery. They don't care about torture. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about anything.
This is a dangerous world. This is a world filled with adversaries. We are led by a man who knows what it takes to keep America prosperous and secure, Sean.
And how can people forget in the last century, over 100 human souls, Mao, China, Stalin, Russia, Hitler, Germany, Mussolini, fascism, Tojo, Japan, Pol Pot, the killing fields. You don't let the threat emerge to the point where they can then hold the world hostage. It's common sense.
It is common sense. That's why we should have nipped Donald Trump in the bud 20 years ago. But I like how he's like, who can forget the last 100 years? Pol Pot, Mussolini. I see he mentioned a bunch of names, but Pol Pot stuck out to me because that was America's fault. We put Pol Pot in power. The Khmer Rouge. All of a sudden, communists weren't so bad. Put Pol Pot in power. Yeah, great. Who could forget? Just remember what country you live in, says Joybird. Oh, I remember what country I live in. You scratch my bubba and I'll scratch you. Scratch my bubba and I'll scratch yours, Donnie. Donnie boy. Anyway, your friend, Stephen Miller, says he's going to avenge American blood. Which American blood? Just vaguely American blood. He thinks that Iranians killed a lot of Americans at some point in history. So we are doing that. That's what the war is now about. It's a war of revenge because America never forgets unless it's Saudi Arabia. And then we've forgotten that all of those guys on the 9/11 planes were Saudis. But we forget about all that. We're not thinking about that. Or Pakistan, when we found Osama bin Laden, he was hiding out in Pakistan. We forgot all that. Water under the bridge. Forget about it. This is a war about avenging American blood. Nothing to do with oil. Shut up about oil. God, why are you guys always asking us if it's about oil? God, oil this, oil that. That's all I ever hear about. Bah.
On this, the yeas are 47, the nays are 53. The motion to discharge is not approved.
Oh, look at that. The Iran War Powers Resolution fails, meaning Republicans voted against Iranian war powers. Look at that. What does that mean? Well, it means absolutely nothing. Supposedly, it means that Donald Trump, within, I don't know, a few more days or something, has to withdraw all the troops from Iran because it was supposed to be a surgical strike. But like now it's just going to be a bunch of nothing. Supposedly, though, we are arming the Kurds. So I think that's probably true. Like, if you think about it, kill all the top guys and give weapons to the guys that are now your friends, like the Mujahideen were, like the Taliban were, like the Ba'athist Party were. We do this all the time. We cut the heads off the top guys and we give the other guys guns because what could go wrong? It never bit us in the ass before. It just bites us in the ass. It always bites us in the ass. We always arm the enemy of tomorrow because, I don't know, this is how America do, man. We're into it. We like the punishment. I remember now. It's because the oil, because we'll be able to steal the oil from them while they're trying to figure out their country. And all we have to do really is protect the oil fields. It doesn't matter about the people. Fuck the people. We'll arm the people. They'll kill each other. And meanwhile, we'll take all the oil. It's a brilliant move. And Senate is saying they don't want to see more soldiers there. Donald Trump can still probably do whatever he wants, but yeah. No, Republicans are all for it. No, 54. That means at least 3 Republicans. 3 Republicans. Democrats except one wanted to stop it. Yeah, John Fetterman. John Fetterman didn't want to stop it, but all the other senators. So that means 4 senators voted to stop it. Yeah. Where do you think ISIS got all those Toyota trucks from? There you go, skate guitar gardening. Now you're talking. Exactly. Why aren't you a channel member? Come on now. We have to be scared of someone so we can build more weapons of death. Bingo. Why would we allow them to continue to take our money and buy these big war machines if we weren't so terrified of brown people? You gotta be terrified of brown people, am I right? They're gonna come over here and fuck your white women. You don't want that to happen, do ya? Oh my gosh, imagine those brown people with your white women. Oh no. What will we do? We've got to build more tanks, more drones, more airplanes to go bomb them. Oh, geez. The thought of it drives me insane. Hate Speaker Sergeant of a Cod, thank you so much for the birthday money. My birthday money's going. Grandma, I'm going to get wasted tomorrow on my birthday. I hate that song. Don't worry, after they get done filling the AI-generated unalive loss, we'll bring them here and give them their jobs with the DOD because diversity. Oh, I bet that's going to happen. No, obviously, I think that's what's going to happen. We'll have immigrants, illegals, and we'll use them in the military. Oh, yeah. We'll use them on the farm. We'll use them on the military. We'll use them as slaves and cannon fodder. That's what we always do. That's what every civilization that takes slaves does. That's what we always do. DOD, the Department of Drugs. Oh, we call them the Dow now. They're at 50 thou. The Dow's at 50 thou. The DOD, Department of Defense.
Chair, I recognize the gentleman from Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
Tennessee, let's see.
It gives me an opportunity to show you the 8 letters that I've sent to you over the last year, only one of which have been replied to.
8 letters I sent you, Chrissy Gnome. I sent you 8 letters from Tennessee. I placed a jar in Tennessee. Rounded. What? Never mind.
So it gives me an opportunity to ask you the.
You know what? I sent you 8 letters, Christy. I'm going to read all 8 to you right now. I want you to answer them right now.
Questions and try to get an
Dear
answer.
Christy.
One of the things you're most famous for, probably your quote of quotes, is we're going to go after the worst of the worst. The murderers, the pedophiles, the rapists, etc. In my letters, I said I agree with you on those things. People who are in this country illegally or not citizens who commit those crimes should be deported. But the facts show that most of the people that you have stopped and tried to deport have not committed any of those crimes. In fact, they've committed no crimes at all. I've got a study here from the Justice Department that shows that less than half as undocumented immigrants are less than half as likely as U.S.-born Americans to be arrested for homicide. And the pattern holds for assault, sexual assault, robbery, burglary, theft, and arson. And they're half as likely to be arrested for drug offenses. That's an NIJ study. In Tennessee, there was a study that was just in the Commercial Appeal, our local newspaper in Memphis, that shows the same, that they are very unlikely to commit offenses. For the folks that are here and your families, I'm sorry. It's terrible what happened to your children or your family members. But they are more likely, and citizens are more likely to be attacked by United States citizens who are not undocumented, who came here and are born here. They are more likely to commit these crimes. So why do you continue to talk about the worst and the worst when all the statistics show we're not stopping the worst and the worst? We're doing what Stephen Miller wants to do and set a record of deportations.
Oh, nice question. A man from Tennessee. Look at that. The House Oversight Committee. Why, if you're saying the worst of the worst, why do you keep on fucking with the best of the best? Why is it? Why do you keep on beating up Marines, for example? Thank you so much, Navia. 5 gifted Skyjack memberships. Skyjack Morgan members get all sorts of exclusive content, exclusive streams, exclusive stream every single day. After this, we have the Afterglow, where we all sit around and sing songs and kumbaya. You get a guitar recital every month. This month, we're going to do the songs of Paul McCartney. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a channel member, Navia. Thank you to all the channel members in the chat. I think you're awesome. Can we get some rebel yells in the chat? Do we have any rebel yells in the chat from the channel members, please? While I read this from Hey Speaker Sargon of Akkad, superfan and channel member. Thank you so much. Who deserves the DOD contracts that pay $250,000 a year more than these men who butcher at our leisure? I'm clearly a way-cist. Nice. For thinking these opportunities should maybe go to me. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, why should the DOD contract go to the guys that you don't like? I don't know if that makes you a racist, but hey, you can do whatever you want, Steve. I don't know why you think that the DoD contracts that pay $250,000 a year, most of the DoD contracts are going to people like Elon Musk. Why are you so afraid of brown people? Like, if you want to hate an immigrant, hate Elon Musk. Hate that guy. If you want to hate an immigrant, like, go after the J1 visa holders or something, man. Those are the guys, not the J1s, the K ones. No, not the K ones. The HB ones, the B ones, the B2 bombers. I don't know. Go after those guys, the ones that are getting used by the rich. You're always going after the poor. Go after the rich ones. You want to hate immigrants, hate the rich immigrants. How about that? I hate the rich immigrants, mostly because I mostly hate rich people. But if you're rich and you're watching, hey, put a penny in the pot, would you? Because we're trying to build some resistance and independent media. Thanks, Hate Speaker Sargon of Akkad, for supporting the channel. Thank you, a member, for 21 months. That's why Rebel yell. I was crying, mo. Not sure why 21 months is a milestone, LOL. 21 pilots is a milestone, so why not 21? 21, Blackjack. You got Blackjack, Vegan Cannibal. Thanks for being here, Vegan Cannibal. Keep eating those other vegans, you vegan cannibal. I hate them too, but Steve, you can hate me equally. Yeah, I hate the rich with you on that. Thank you, number one loser 410. I appreciate that. Let's keep hating the rich. Stop hating the poor. But let's see. Chrissy Noem, she's going to give us the reason why she goes after poor people instead of bad people.
Can I respond to you now, sir?
I hope you will now.
Okay, good.
It's been a year.
Well, thank you for your letters, and we responded to those. When I came into office, there was
yes, please do. It's been a year.
years of letters that Mayorkas did not respond to, that we had to backlog and respond to all the letters that he...
Imagine getting a job, and every time they call you out for something you're not doing, you're like, well, the last guy was worse than me. Well, yeah, we fucking fired that guy. What the fuck? Well, Mayorkas was worse than me. We fired that guy. Is that what you want to happen to you? Like, why are you coming at me? The last guy was way worse. I'm just as bad as the last guy. We know. We fired the last guy.
He received that, Secretary.
Imagine doing that at your job. Imagine doing that at your job. That next time your boss comes and he's got some shit to talk, he's gonna give you the riot act. He's gonna treat you like shit. Your boss is gonna be like, "How come you didn't get your TPS reports on time?" Yeah, we're gonna need you to come on the weekend. Yeah, the page on the TPS report. Yeah, you need to get the page one on your TPS report. Yeah. Next time you get that type of shit from your boss, tell your boss that the last person who held your position also didn't get his TPS reports in on time. Just tell him that. Well, the last guy didn't do it. Why do I have to do it? Because we fired the last guy because he didn't do it.
The letters I wrote
7 days old.
Just tell me about the letters I wrote you.
I have responded to over 1,490 letters that I've gotten from members of Congress.
It's a red swing line stapler.
1,498 done mine
That's
as well.
just individual letters. Sometimes they had 60 to 70 signatures on them, and we responded to every one of them.
Tell me about the worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst, sir. I think you've offended the families behind me today with that.
You offended the families. The worst of the worst. You offended the families. Oh, boogie, boogie. My angel families. You offended them. Look, I'm asking you about your fucking job. Why can't you do it?
Not intend to, and I think it's wrong for you to suggest it.
You're commenting on the fact that the individuals aren't violent reoffenders, and you keep talking about the fact that these individuals that are in this country illegally don't harm families.
No, I didn't say that. I said they're less likely than people born here. I didn't say that they don't do it.
The vast majority of these people behind me lost their children due to drugs, overdose.
Listen, that overdose and drugs, they lost it because of drugs, and that's the immigrants' fault. Drug problems in America, that's the immigrants' fault too. If your kid is hooked on fentanyl, that's the immigrants' fault. That's somebody else's fault. If you're, what happened to the fucking Republicans? Used to be all about how it's take personal responsibility. How come these maggers don't like taking responsibility for their own actions? I thought that if you got hooked on Tylenol, that was your fault. What happened?
From drugs that came over the southern border. They died from their kids being hit on accidents on the roads
Yeah,
that illegal
yeah,
drivers
yeah,
were driving.
yeah.
Truck drivers, Marcus Coleman and Delilah's father has told the story over and over again.
All that's true
about
and
how
a
that
given. That's
individual-
true and a given, Ms. Noem, but you say you're only going after the worst of the worst, and you're not. Go after the worst of the worst. And if you did, people wouldn't find your department to be the worst department in the United States of America.
We do targeted
That's right.
enforcement based on intelligence and go after the worst of the worst. When we are on those enforcement actions, if there are people with those individuals, we confirm their identities as well to make sure that they have legal status in our country. We
Liar.
need to make sure that people understand that when you come into this country illegally, overstay a student visa, if you don't go in for your
Yeah. If you come into this country illegally, look out. Imagine putting the poor of every other group over the needs of your own countrymen. I'm not. Especially when the new guys butchered their own Fing folk 5 minutes ago. You couldn't pay me to be that low. Hey, Speaker Sard, God, you're a race traitor, man. You're a class traitor. I don't know. Do you see the differences between rich and poor, not between black and white? You see, there's the difference. Not between brown and white. Your whole thing, your whole MO is that white people are like this heritage class of America. They're like an heirloom tomato that you need to protect because they're so fragile or something. And they're not. They're not. Poor white people, poor black people, poor Mexican people, poor Puerto Ricans, poor Asians, poor people of the world must unite and overthrow their evil overlords. That's it. Your own countrymen, my own countrymen. Have you seen the state of my countrymen?
If you're out of legal
I'm
status,
reclaiming my
then you need
time,
to
Madam
go home.
Secretary, please. That's one issue. Another issue is the fact of training. And an ICE Academy has Ryan Schwank, a former instructor and immigration and customs enforcement attorney, joined ICE in 2021 and resigned February 13 because he wanted people to know that he received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. He says the studies, the constitutional law and deadly force have all been cut down. Instead of doing 8 hours a day, they do 12 hours a day. Even
So the gentleman you're referencing was detailed to FLETC for training for a couple of months. He's a trial attorney. He was never there before we changed the curriculum. He was only there for a couple of months after we had changed it and made sure that it was 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. All of the individuals received all the training they did before.
I've got 27 seconds left.
They also received
27 seconds left. I reclaim my time. I taught police law. You get more learning in the less time you give them. If you more time, they learn less because their brains start to go other places. You have any people that you've hired who were January 6 offenders?
Not that I know of.
Can you go in your records and tell me if anybody who you hired was a January 6 offender?
I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Gentleman's time is expired.
You just mentioned that the president.
What do you think? Do you think Kristi Noem hired any January 6 offenders? Because I heard that a lot of those guys who are cracking skulls in Minneapolis and shooting people in the face, I heard that they were January 6 offenders and Proud Boys. So what do you think? Do you think that they're January 6? She says she doesn't know. She doesn't know who works for her. What do you think? What do you think, America? What do you think? Do you think that she hired January 6 offenders?
Is going to attend the Dignified transfer for these families. Given what Secretary Hegseth said this morning, is it the position of this administration that the press should not prominently cover the deaths of U.S. service members?
No, it's the position of this administration that the press in this room and the press across the country should accurately report on the success of Operation Epic Fury and the damage it is doing to the rogue Iranian regime that has threatened the lives of every single American in this room. If the Iranian regime had their choice, they would kill every single person in this room. And so we can all be very grateful that we have an administration and that we have men and women in our army.
Count your lucky stars and pray to Jesus Christ that thank him every day for Donald Trump.
Armed forces who are willing to sacrifice their own lives for the rest of us in this room and for every American across the country and for every troop that is based in the Middle East. That's what these.
Secretary Hegseth was complaining that it was front page news about these 6 service members who were killed.
That's not what the secretary said, Caitlin, and that's not what the secretary meant, and you know it. You know you're being disingenuous. There is not. We've never had a secretary of defense who cares more.
There were tragic things happen. It's front page news. I get it. The press only wants to make the president look bad.
Yeah,
you know we cover
press
the deaths of U.S. service members under every president.
The press does only want to make the president look bad. That's a fact.
It's a fact. It's a fact that the press only wants to make the president look bad. Every time we go to war, the press reports on who dies, especially the Americans. Everybody else doesn't matter. But all of a sudden, if you report the dead, you're making the president look bad. This is some Hitlery shit, man. This is some nasty stuff. It's kind of like how Viktor Orban didn't need to control. The state doesn't need to control the media. What they need to do is have some state media, like Fox News and some of these other ones. And then you have your billionaire friends that own the other, like the Ellisons, and then they control it. Like they change the algorithm so that less bad Donald Trump content gets shown on TikTok because they own TikTok now. The same guy who owns CNN owns TikTok. The same guy who owns TikTok owns CBS. The same guy who owns CBS owns Paramount. The same guy who owns Paramount owns HBO. Jesus. So you see, this is how they did it in Hungary. You don't really need to have state media. That's scary. You just need to have all your billionaire friends that are on board with you in charge of all the media. Ain't that nice?
Especially you. No, listen to me. Especially you and especially CNN. And the Secretary of Defense cares deeply about our warfighters and our men and women in uniform. He travels all across this country to meet with them, to connect with them, and your network has hardly ever probably reported on that. You also have the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Chairman Kane, who's a brave patriot, standing alongside the Secretary at the Pentagon this morning, again expressing his condolences.
It's always funny to me when they say that CNN or anyone else, that the media isn't reporting us all the good things we do. That's not their job. Their job is not the PR wing. They're the fourth estate. They are the ones who are the last check and balance on the fucking government. They are not there as a PR department for the president of the United States. That's not their job. Their job is to hold you to task. They're doing the job of Congress at this point. Jesus. Like the Congress is supposed to be passing laws and limiting the power of the president. They're not doing that because they care more about their party than the people. Let's see. From your perspective, anyone and everyone can work for the government except for right-wing white people. Tell us more about how you're independent. What? When did I say that? You act so weird, man, when you talk about race. This is what I don't understand about you, man. I agreed with you on something today, and here you are. You say such weird things. What the fuck are you talking about? From your perspective, anyone and everyone can work for the government except for right-wing white people. Well, right-wing, I mean Nazis. I think we should hang them all. And so right-wing, yeah, I guess that part. But white people are very well represented in our government. There are lots of white people working in government. What are you talking about? I like some white people. I have some white friends. Some of my best friends have been white. Some of my best friends are white people, Steve. Are you saying that I don't like white people? My mom was white. Some of my best friends were white. I don't know what you're talking about. Because right-wing white people are evil. I guess is it right-wing plus white? Is that what your problem is? Yeah, of course. I don't like Nazis. What the fuck are you talking? Yeah, I've always hated Nazis. Since I was a little lad, hated Nazis. But, white people that aren't Nazis, I'm okay with that. Is everyone okay with that? Is everyone okay? Let me ask you in the chat. Is it okay to have a conservative party? I say yes. I think having a conservative party is very good. You need to have people who are kind of like an opposition party. It's good to bounce ideas off of people because they might show you what the flaw in your thinking is. It's good to have people, that little tension there. I think that's good. Have a conversation, especially when you both agree that there's a problem. But nowadays you can't agree on what problems are. You can't agree on what truth or facts are, so you're in a deep trouble. It's very hard in America these days to even agree on what the problems we're facing are. But is everyone okay with white people who aren't Nazis? So all conservatives are Nazis. What did I just get finished saying? You might be a little bit behind. No, I didn't say that all conservatives are Nazis. I think John McCain, we're just a far cry away from that. These days, the word conservative means nothing. Conservative used to be like Teddy Roosevelt and John McCain and, shit, CNN is pretty conservative as far as I'm concerned. Let me think. Who else is conservative? All of them are conservative. The entire House and Senate are conservative. The Democrats are conservative. The Overton window has moved right. everyone in office is conservative. They all take money from Israel. They all want to go to, up until this Iranian thing, they were totally okay with being Israel's rent-a-cop. They all like to give tax breaks to the rich. They all take money from billionaires and corporations. They are all pro-capitalism and pro-corporations. What do you mean? They're all conservative. All of them are conservative. Yeah, who is conservative? They're all conservative. I was trying to think of like good examples of like Republicans, but when you say the word conservative, the whole government's conservative. It's so weird that you guys are like white people, though. You guys are poor white people. Got to look out for the white people, right? Got to look out for those guys. They're underrepresented in America.
Oh, exhausted. No, not at all. I just I think we're setting records.
Here's some white people.
Now, from California, you're going to go for the record.
Look, there's a white Republican talking to a white Democrat with two white ladies sitting behind. Is that Jim Jeffries? I think that's Jim Jeffries, or is that? I think that's Jim Jeffries. The wasn't he involved in some child molestation thing? I think he was a child molester, right? Yeah. That they went to him and tried to get help. Isn't that Jim Jeffries? Isn't that him? The one that that all the kids went to and tried to get help because they were being molested and he didn't do anything. Wasn't that him, Jim Jeffries? Yeah, that's him. Pretty sure that's him.
If I'm being honest, I threw out 50 of them. God bless you. Let's go. So let's get started. All right.
And there's Moskowitz yucking it up with him.
A Vox article, the mess that Kristi Noem made. Without objection. Times article, Noem's spending rule causes delays at Homeland Security. Without objection. Politico, vote to overhaul FEMA canceled after leaked report. Without objection. ProPublica, Kristi Noem misled Congress about top aide's role at DHS. Without objection. The Hill, Trump approval rating on immigration at record low. Without objection. Wall Street Journal, pilot fired over Kristi Noem's missing blanket.
Oh, man, Wall Street Journal. That's Rupert Murdoch. Even Rupert Murdoch is reporting on what a piece of shit Kristi Noem is. That's got to hurt.
Objection. CNN article. Sources describe how Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's Gucci bag was stolen under her chair. Objection. New York Times, late night is distracted by Kristi Noem's oversized hats. That one's my favorite. And a Times article, some Republicans join calls for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to step down. Objection. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate your indulgence. Before I begin, first let me say to the families that are still here, I am very sorry for your loss. I watched parents in my hometown of Park.
So that guy sitting next to Moskowitz is also white. You're going to legit sit there with your chubby cheeks. My chubby cheek? What are you saying? You don't like my chubby cheeks? You know, my cheeks are chubby? That's mean. You're a mean man. I can't accurately read into your subtext outrage. My subtext, I think you're reading shit that ain't there, buddy. I don't know if you heard, but I'm an anarchist. Everyone you disagree with is a pedophile and a Nazi. Does that mean that you're a radical extremist? You can't tolerate people thinking differently than you? Everyone I disagree with? No, not everyone I disagree with is a pedophile and Nazi. Some people I agree with are pedophiles. I mean, shit, I thought Noam Chomsky was a pretty cool guy until I found out that he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I used to think that Woody Allen was a really classy thinker and smart guy until I found out that he was, doing what he was doing. So, no, that's not true. No, there's tons of people, and they talk shit on all sorts of people. What do you mean? Not everyone's a pedophile and a Nazi that I disagree with. No, I don't think Charlie Kirk was a pedophile. I think he was a little too into trans porn and hated people for no reason. And he was a stochastic terrorist and sort of a Nazi, but, not a pedophile. I don't think so. I hope not. I never thought that Charlie Kirk was a pedophile. I think that Benny Johnson is gay, but I don't think he's a pedophile. I think that, I'm trying to think of people that I disagree with. Ben Shapiro. I mean, that would be complicated. Not really a Nazi, but, he really hates immigrants. He just likes Jews for some reason because he's Jewish, but he hates everybody else. He's a complicated one, right? I don't think Ben Shapiro's a pedophile. And I don't think he's really a Nazi, but so,
Parkland bury their kids after the shooting at my high school at Marjory Stoneman Douglas, and I can't tell you that it was an out-of-body experience, and there's nothing like burying a child. So I am deeply sorry for your loss. Madam Secretary, welcome. Good afternoon. Thomas Massey mentioned Ron DeSantis' response during COVID. Well, you're looking.
Oh, I like this. Man, you, Perodin, you're on a roll today. It's the left. The left? Okay. Going around harassing people, demanding that they denounce Trump, storming churches, saying we need to be branded so we can't hide, and openly owning violence. Well, maybe you should be branded because you're supporting pedophiles and Nazis. Like, maybe you should be. I mean, I didn't say it. I think you should be tarred and feathered. I think that's pretty chill compared, since you're a collaborator with Nazis and you're trying to throw our country away and undermine our Constitution. I mean, I think tarring and feathering is a pretty kind of classic American thing to do with people like you. Churches, I mean, that church was the pastor of that church that you're talking about. You're saying churches, but there was one church, and it was because the pastor, the guy who was in charge of that church, was also in charge of ICE. So really, it had nothing to do with the church. It had to do with the guy happened to work at a fucking church. It's not their fault he was working at a church. The guy was a head of ICE, one of the little sergeants of ICE. I forget what his title was actually, but he was one of the top guys over in ICE in Minneapolis. So they went to where he worked. Where he worked was a church, and now you're like, oh, churches are sacred places. Sacred places. Donald Trump cried for like 2 weeks because of a church incident, because they mentioned the word mercy inside of a church. So spare me your pearl clutching, you little bitch. My God, storming churches. I guess that's better than storming the Capitol. But look, man, I don't think those people, I don't even know who those people were. The left. The left. Look out for the left. You guys are so scared of the left. But yeah, they should brand you. They should put little swastikas on your foreheads, like Aldo Raines. If I had my way, you wouldn't be able to take off that goddamn uniform. So we're going to give you something you can't take off. I think that's good. Let's give him something you can't take off. I love it. Let's do it. Great idea.
And at the guy who ran that response. I was the director of emergency management for the state of Florida. For a Republican governor, I worked with the Trump FEMA administration during the Category 5 Hurricane Michael recovery. That Trump's FEMA was great. We got expedited reimbursement, a program that you got rid of or threatened to get rid of. And the Panhandle had one of the greatest responses after that Category 5 storm. The president said he wanted to reform FEMA, but that's not what you did. You basically destroyed the agency. Largest FEMA backlog in the history of FEMA. My state of Florida is owed $2.5 billion. You have delayed.
Oh, the guy from Florida is not the person to argue with FEMA about. FEMA's owed $2.5 billion, and FEMA still hasn't paid it. I wonder where that $2.5 billion went. Where do you think that $2.5 billion went? DHS, what have they been using all the money for? I can't think of anything. Thank you so much, Navia. You're goddamn wonderful. Thank you for supporting this channel for so long. I appreciate you. Black belt members, if you are a member by tomorrow, I will put your name in the thank you page on the book. My book, The Chris Hemsworth Sonnets, is coming out on March 31st. That's my mom's birthday and the day of her funeral. And I want to release it. It's coming out on the 31st. If you want to be in a Pulitzer Prize nominated, Pushcart nominated poet's book, please become a black belt member of this channel today, and I will thank you in the book. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. So it's perfectly okay for you people. What do you mean, you people? How dare you? To storm a church. Nobody stormed a church. It was a protest against a person who works for ICE. Because your side is right. I mean, my side. I'm not on the side. I mean, I'm against ICE, so I guess temporarily I'm on their side. Sure. You are literally justifying current day Nazism. No, Nazis would have to be in charge of the government. So the people in charge of the government are always going to be the Nazis, really, if you think about it. But no, I guess it'd be hard to say that the people talking about pluralism are the Nazis. You see, the ones saying, hey, we're all equal and no one is illegal. We are all equal, and no one is illegal. Kind of things like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard-pressed to call those guys Nazis. The ones beating up minorities, though, ooh, that's a little on the nose. If you're in the street with a paramilitary organization beating the shit out of immigrants and brown people, you might be a Nazi. Just something. The people protesting against that, probably not Nazis. It's just like, let's not get too deep into like what's a Nazi and what's a fascist. Let's really get down deep and define our terms. If you are the type of person who is joining a paramilitary group so that you could beat the shit out of immigrants and minorities, you might be a Nazi. If you're the type of person that wants to stand up unarmed in order to communicate your dismay at their government using their money, their taxpayer dollars, to create paramilitary groups to beat up minorities and immigrants, you're probably not a Nazi. Probably. It's not 100% chance that this rule is accurate, but I'm thinking 99.99% of the time, the person who's not in a paramilitary organization beating the shit out of minorities and immigrants, the person who's not doing that is probably also not a Nazi. Just saying, Perodin. Just saying.
The FEMA disaster declarations, even when the applicants meet FEMA statutory threshold under the Stafford Act. You want states to do more, yet you want to cut the EMPG program, which grants them funding to build capacity. Your office was involved in discussions of moving FEMA to Texas. You created a rule of anything over $100,000 has to come to your desk, a rule that has slowed down FEMA reimbursement, FEMA response, and we have empty regional offices. You have done the opposite of what President Trump wanted to accomplish, which was to speed up the process. Your policies have made the department slower. I didn't think it was possible to make FEMA more bureaucratic, but boy, you have exceeded all.
Ooh. Ooh, there you go with just your lies that going around harassing and murdering people, beating up people because of their skin color. They literally went to the Supreme Court in order to get permission to beat up people according to their skin color and the language they're speaking. Perodin, turn on the fucking news. They literally went to the Supreme Court to get permission to beat the shit out of people because of their skin color and the language they speak. Oh, and also if they work at a place where immigrants work, like a car wash or something, using those parameters, they're allowed to beat the fuck out of whoever they want and disappear people and put them into concentration camps. I would say that if you're building concentration camps, you might be a Nazi. But people who are not building concentration camps and are in fact protesting concentration camps, those people are probably not Nazis. Just a rule of thumb for you, Perodin. I'm glad you came to this channel so I can help you out. It's pretty easy. It's like, these are good little rules, little litmus tests, little smell tests. If you're smelling two people and one smells like they create a paramilitary group, wants to beat the shit out of minorities and immigrants, wants to go over other countries and create wars of conquest, perpetrate wars of conquest against people, other countries, because of their resources, and don't care about what the people are saying. Only 25% of the people in America actually support the war in Iran. You smell that? And they're building. Is that concentration camp I smell on you? Yeah, it smells like concentration camp. That person who's building probably a Nazi. If you smell another person, they smell like they've just been hit with tear gas and they are crying because they think that their country's being stolen from them. They think that their rights are important and they're standing up for the poor people who are getting the shit beat out of them, and they're standing up and protesting against the war. Like that Marine who had his military outfit on and he got his arm broken in half by the cops. Those guys, probably not Nazis. Probably. Like, usually.
My expectations. In the Texas floods, you didn't put the urban search and rescue crews on the road for 72 hours. Days later, the FEMA urban search and rescue chief resigned in protest. You hired 2 people as the administrator with no FEMA experience. We're on our 3rd history of...
Oh my God, the gender mutilation. Don't you realize that you guys have been had? Heather Private, don't you realize that you got suckered? No one's doing the gender mutilation and killing unborn babies. That's not look, no, you see, once again, it never was about killing babies. The abortion debate is about whether or not the government should play a role in the lives of women and families. That's the argument. It's not about whether or not killing babies. There are no babies involved. We're talking about 98% of abortions being done within the first 13 weeks. So, learn a little bit. Gender mutilation. My God, man. My God. most people get their genitals mutilated because because Americans still circumcise their little boys like a bunch of weird people. It's so creepy that we still do that in this country. My God, what is wrong with us? Meanwhile, I know what you're actually talking about. You're talking about like sexual reassignment surgeries, which do not happen for children. It's all just a big thing. It's just all propaganda, man. There's like less than 1% of people in America that are even thinking about this type of stuff, about wanting to have gender reassignment surgery. Less than 1%. So over 99% of Americans do not want, aren't thinking about, do not care about gender reassignment surgery. You care more about their genitals than most people do. You care more about the 99% of people than they care about their own genitals. But, bro, you've been had. If someone's talking about your rights being taken away and you bring up gender mutilation and babies, you've been fucking, you got MAGA brain. You've been had. They tricked you. They tricked you, man. You're a sucker. You got bamboozled. And you're never going to be able to get out of it because you don't have the humility to accept that you've been had. You got sold a bill of goods. It's so difficult. It's easier to trick somebody than to convince them that they've been tricked.
The department has that ever happened. The president took presidential action to create the FEMA Council. I supported it. You opposed the FEMA Council. You delayed its beginning. The report has still not come out. The White House canceled your last council meeting and has held up the release of the report. But surprise, I have it. I have it. I want to thank the former FEMA employees that you fired who gave this to me. This report's never been seen in public before, okay? But this is it. This was the report. It was 122 pages, the original draft report. You and Corey Lewandowski then took the report and made it 23 pages. You cut out all the stuff that was put in by governors who had been through disasters, emergency management directors, FEMA experts, national security experts. You cut it all out. It's all gone. That's why the report's not been released. Sitting in the White House trying to figure out this mess that you created. So instead of getting the recommendations we need, now we have nothing. You called Corey Lewandowski a special government employee. I understand what government means. I understand what employee means, okay? But I don't know what makes him special. Now, I want to give you an opportunity to answer on the record to Ms. Kamlager-Dove's question. I know you said it's garbage, and it may be, but I really think you need to say the word no into the record so that you can clear that up.
I think the ridiculousness of this and the tabloids that you are quoting and referencing are insane. And this has been...
Are you sleeping with your subordinate, Corey Lewandowski?
That's a no?
Something that I've refuted for years, and I continue to do that.
So
what I would tell you is in regards to what you're doing...
We can move on. I'm not going to belabor it.
This is what you do.
Hold on. I'm not doing anything.
Liberal left.
Okay. You're a socialist liberal left. You asked her if she's fucking her subordinate, and she's like, you're a socialist liberal left. This is how they get you, man. This is how they get you. Are you fucking your subordinate? You're a socialist. What year is this? You guys fall for this? All you maggers fall for this shit?
Conservative women. And you say that we're either stupid
I haven't
or
said
we're
anything.
sluts.
All right.
Yeah, well, you're definitely stupid. You're like pigs voting for the slaughterhouse. You guys are like, should we all go to the slaughterhouse? Let's give the pigs a chance to vote on whether or not they go to the slaughterhouse. Kristi Noem would be one of those pigs being like, yay, let's go. We get to ride on a truck. Everybody loves riding on trucks, right? Yeah, woohoo!
So listen,
that's what you do.
Yesterday, Richard, reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman, reclaiming my time. You were asked by Richard Blumenthal yesterday. You were asked by Richard Blumenthal yesterday if Corey was involved in approving contracts. You said
she cheated. She's cheating on her husband. She's currently married, by the way. So she's cheating on her husband, who is still was the first gentleman of South Dakota. South Dakota, we're so good. We're Midwestern. We all never cheat on our husbands. Oakley dokley. They all talk like Ned Flanders out there. It's amazing. I love South Dakota, by the way. Fucking love it. Anyway, she's cheating on that guy with Corey Lewandowski, the guy who works for her.
no. Do you want to correct that?
What I would say is that he has an advisor to the Department of Homeland Security, has no decision-making authority.
You want to correct it? Yes or no? You want to correct it? Fine. Not a problem. According to one of the FEMA administrators that you fired, there is nothing, including contracts, that is brought to you that he hasn't reviewed. In fact, a significant amount of DHS internal routing documents has his signature on it above deputy secretaries. Okay? That former FEMA administrator wasn't fired by you, the secretary. He was fired by Corey. It was Corey that called him into your office. It was Corey that made him to submit to a polygraph test. The $100,000 spending rule that you created that comes to your desk, you're not even sitting at your desk. It's Corey who's sitting there. ISIS said the Republicans should be happy at the job that you're doing. Really? You're looking at the person who single-handedly took the president's signature core issue, immigration, the issue that got him elected from 59% to 39%. 200 miles of border walls being held up by you. They had to bring in Tom Homan, pull out of Minnesota. I think the country needs a national divorce from you on biblical grounds. I mean, if Donald Trump was still apprentice Trump, he would look at you and he would realize you're the weakest cabinet member and he would fire you. And if the president said to you that only way DHS could reopen is if you resigned, I hope you would take him up on it. Now I want to end. On a happy note, Mr. Chairman, real quickly, the president gave all sorts of stuff out during the State of the Union. I don't want you to leave. I got you a new Coast Guard blankie, the one you lost. Okay, so this is for you. You don't leave empty-handed when you come to judiciary. Thank you, Mr.
The gentleman is expired. The gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
Man, he's always got jokes, that Moskowitz, man, that Floridian, sometimes not all Floridians are bad. I know you guys all hate Florida, but I love Florida. I spent a lot of time in Florida. I love it. People are fun down there, like Moskowitz. He brought her her blankie because she fired a pilot for not fetching her blankie for her, and then they had to hire back the pilot because she was stranded. Can you imagine that? Like, you fire a guy because you're a bitch, and then all of a sudden you gotta hire him right back because you're stranded and he's the only person that can fly you home. Come on. That's so beautiful. I love when shit like that happens. Only in America. Only in America. She's not even sitting at her own desk. Corey Lewandowski, the guy she's banging, sits there and does her work for her. How embarrassing. What an embarrassment this country has become.
Reuters, November 27, 2025, UC request. Officials criticized Biden vetting, but Afghan shooting suspect was granted asylum under Trump. And then September 29, 2025, Courthouse News. States sue DHS again over cuts to anti-terrorism grants for blue states.
Without objection, the gentlelady from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. And Madam Secretary.
Your ex and his family are from Florida. What part of Florida? I mean, Florida's a big state. You can't blame the whole state. I love Florida, man. I've been to every city in Florida. I've been everywhere in Florida. I like it. I've been all over it. I had a good time, and I always enjoyed it. So beautiful. The weather's always nice. Well, not always nice. I mean, I lived through a couple storms while I was there, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's the lightning capital of the world. Don't you like lightning? Don't you like alligators? Don't you like manatees? Don't you like crazy-looking birds? They got manatees, man. They're cool.
You are almost to the end, so congratulations. I just have a couple of questions. Are you aware that the law that was written by this Congress makes it clear that members of Congress are entitled to enter any detention?
Representative Crockett, I apologize. I have to run to vote in another committee. Secretary and Mr. Schmidt will chair, and you will get extra 15 seconds, but I apologize for that.
Yes, thank you
so much,
Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it. Are you aware that the law makes it clear that members of Congress are allowed to enter any detention facility at any point in time in which they choose to?
Yes, I'm aware of the visitation and oversight responsibility, and we work every day to try to accommodate members of Congress while taking into account the safety of those individuals.
Let me be clear. At any time, correct?
Yes, I understand there's litigation in this area.
Yeah, they got peacocks. They got all sorts of cool things. They got peacocks in Texas, too. We got peacocks in California as well. But, they got big old crazy stork-looking animals. I fucking love Florida. Crazy. People are fun, man. They got that skunk ape. They got that skunk ape in Florida. He's half skunk, half ape. He's like the Sasquatch of Florida. I have a friend that says he's totally seen a skunk ape. I've always wanted to see a skunk ape.
No, that's not my question. I'm not asking you about litigation. I'm asking you what the law is, because let me put it to you.
There's an appropriations rider that talks about
correct,
oversight.
and appropriations are law, because you are asking us to appropriate dollars right now for DHS, correct?
Correct.
And if we do that, you would take that as law, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that is what the law states. Yet somehow, myself and another colleague, Congressman Castro, we ended up giving a 7-day notice to the Dilley detention facility because I had actually already gone to El Paso before. And when I went to that facility and I asked them why it was that they were requiring me to do something that specifically my branch of government had dictated was not required, they said it was because of you. They said you were the one that said that they were not allowed to allow us entry unless we gave a 7 days heads up. Is that true?
No. The law specifically states oversight and visitations, and we are working to facilitate those. And we're at that time.
Did you give the instruction that members must give a 7 days heads up or not?
We had a policy in place that allowed us to give.
Were you the one that ordered that policy?
I have a responsibility for ensuring everybody in the facility is going to be safe, and that I have.
Okay, no, but that's not my question, because let me tell you why we need to reclaim my time. The reason that I'm talking to you about this policy and you're talking to me about safety is because I did go into the Dilley detention facility. And let me tell you, they're not safe. This is why we need to conduct oversight, because your people continue. In fact, you have lost more lives in detention than anybody else. That is your record right now. So.
That's right. We just got through 2025, which was the worst, bloodiest year for people in ICE custody. 34 were killed by ICE. Many were found with their hands and feet tied together, hanging from the ceilings. Then they said those were suicides, which is weird because their hands and feet were tied together. But they've had lots of beatings to death. A lot of them are just dying from random diseases because they don't have the doctors to keep them alive. People are taking medication back at home, and then they're thrown into a concentration camp where they can't have access to education, medication, and then they die. Or education, I guess, too. They don't get education in there either. They don't get anything. They don't have bathrooms. They don't have sufficient facilities in concentration camps. That's the thing about concentration camps. You got to have doctors and toilets for when you put a bunch of people in a room. But the problem is they don't do that because they don't care about them because they have no legal status. That's how that works. If you have no legal status and no rights, nobody cares if you have a toilet or a doctor. So you die. That's what's happening in these places. Diseases run rampant. There was a spike in 2020 in ICE facilities in our concentration camp system in 2020, also under Donald Trump, because of COVID, because you have a bunch of people in a room too close together and no PPE, no sanitation, and they all started getting COVID and dying. 2004 was the worst year ever up until now. 2004 was the worst year ever. It was the first year of ICE and our first year of having ICE concentration camps, and they just didn't have enough doctors. They were unprepared, and so a lot of people died. This year, 2025, bloodiest year in history for ICE. And they still haven't even deported as many people as Barack Obama. What's going on? South Korea style. North Korea style, you mean, I think. Yeah. We build concentration camps in America, and we try to hold this lady responsible, and we're supposed to have our representatives are supposed to be allowed to go in at any time and check to see how our concentration camps are. Is the treatment of our concentration camp prisoners on par with what the American people would expect? That's why we are allowed to send our representatives at any time to check it out. But Kristi Noem says, no, you're not allowed to come look. You got to give us 7 days. Who put kids in cages? All the presidents put kids in cages. Every president put kids in cages. I know what you're trying to say. Obama! Look out! Oh my God, Barack Obama! You'll find you must be new here. Barack Obama also, he expanded the concentration camp system in America after George W. Bush created it. Barack Obama expanded it. Donald Trump weaponized it. Joe Biden did nothing. And then now Donald Trump is turning it into a full-on Hitler-style final solution situation. Thank you. Rest in power, Jasmine Crockett. You get to go back to managing the corner store discount hair nail salon sandwich between Lightning Liquor. And why do you think that's... No, she doesn't. Hey, Speaker Sargent of a What are you talking about? She could still run for House. What are you talking about? Jasmine Crockett lost the primary for Senate. That doesn't mean she's going to go someplace else. You think you're done with Jasmine Crockett? Is that what you think? Jasmine Crockett ain't going nowhere. She's just not going to be in the Senate. She lost a state. A lot of times people who are in a small district want to have statewide office, a little bit more power, a lot more prestige. And so they want to become a senator. That happens a lot. She lost that bid because she lost the primary against James Tallarico. That doesn't mean she's not going to be a congressperson. She could still be a congressperson. We'll never know. We'll see what happens. Strange that you want to just go out against Jasmine like that. Damn. Jasmine Crockett is homeless all of a sudden. Yeah. It's a strange idea.
I don't expect that y'all are going to be the ones that are going to be best to keep them safe. This is why we are supposed to conduct oversight and not wait for you to give permission. In fact, after I left the Dilley facility, we were informed of a measles outbreak that was taking place in that facility. And another question I have, are you the one that ordered it to be reopened because that facility was closed under Joe Biden?
Those facilities were opened with the new administration.
They opened up with the new administration. Measles. God, you know what? During the Nazi concentration camps, there was a lot of tuberculosis, typhoid, typhus, those types of diseases, the flu. And guess what's killing people in our concentration camps? Various diseases, shingles, chickenpox, COVID, the flu, what else? Measles now is killing people in our concentration camps. It turns out when you take a bunch of people and you stick them in a small little area and you don't give them the means to clean themselves and you don't have sufficient toilet facilities and you don't have sufficient doctor attention, then you get death. And we know this. That's murder. If you know it's going to happen before you do it, It's called murder. Now they'll say, well, they're dying of diseases. There's nothing we could do about that. Of course there is, because you know it's going to happen. It's happened since the birth. It's happened since the American Indians, since we started taking them and killing them with diseases. We did that shit intentionally. Intentionally. This is intention. They are killing immigrants intentionally. Don't let them say, oh, well, we didn't know that concentration camps kill people with all of these rampant diseases that seem to go. We put people with immunodeficiencies, with comorbidities, and we put them all in a room together. What could go wrong? We didn't give them any soap. We forced them to shit in a hole in the ground, and we didn't give them doctors. That's a concentration camp.
Okay, you're part of the new administration. Were you the one that ordered it to be open is my question.
I would have to see when it was opened because I wasn't sworn in until 5 days after.
Okay, well, it was reopened in March.
Have to look at
it was reopened in March of last year.
Well, then I'm sure that contract would have been renewed while I was secretary.
Speaking of contracts, as I have actually, you know what? Let me continue on this line of y'all breaking the law. Are you familiar with
let me continuing on this line of y'all breaking the law
by the name of Liam Ramos?
I am.
All right, so Liam was at this Dilley facility.
Oh, yeah, Liam Ramos. He was that 5-year-old you guys arrested. What could go wrong?
It just so happened that we had put in our 7 days notice and y'all had grabbed him 6 days prior to our visit. So we were able to go and visit Liam. Are you aware of the court order that came down that released Liam from custody?
I am.
And are you aware that
Sid like 365, that's a type of guy I like. You're not supposed to like these women. I love you, man. You're not supposed to like these women. They're fucking politicians. But one is representing the people, and the other one was appointed by the president and only serves power. That's the difference. Now, you could hate Jasmine Crockett because you don't like the way she talks or you don't like the way her vibe is. That's okay. I get it. I completely understand that. I don't like the way she says some things sometimes, too. But at the end of the day, she was elected by her district to represent them as a delegation to Washington, D.C., to hold people in power responsible, to question authority. She is a representative of the people, not Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem is a representative of the president, an office that has clawed power to itself over the years. Over the last 100 years, every president's been guilty of it, especially since Reagan, of clawing and amassing more power to the branch that should have the least amount of power. And here we are. So if you don't like both women, that's okay. But one is doing the job of the people. The other one, well.
that the judge said the case has its genesis in an ill-conceived and incompetent
The other one, Kristi Noem's just killing immigrants.
Implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. This court and others regularly send undocumented people to prison and orders them deported, but do so by proper legal procedures. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I would disagree with the judge on
I'm
several
sure you
points
would, but can you tell me whether or not you have a law degree?
Father chose to.
Can you tell me whether or not you have a law degree?
If I have what?
A law degree.
No, I do not have a law
Okay,
degree.
and you do understand, because I can go through a bunch of court cases and orders that I disagree with from the Supreme Court, that ultimately, that is the order of the court. That is what you follow, and if you have an issue, you appeal it up, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The court went on to say, apparent also is the government's ignorance of an American historical document called the Declaration of Independence. 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances against a would-be authoritarian king over his nascent nation.
Oh my God, you're quoting the Declaration of Independence? You can't do that in Congress. How dare you? Donald Trump thinks the Declaration of Independence was the product of the Civil War, this guy. Donald Trump thinks this Declaration of Independence was just something that looks cool to hang on his wall. Donald Trump thinks the Declaration of Independence is the work of the devil because it means that all men are created equal. Ugh, how gross.
Among others were, he has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. He has excited domestic insurrection among us, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. He has kept us among, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. Are you aware that he wrote that? Do you know that he was writing about ICE that falls under you?
The judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. With that, I will yield, but I do have two UCs. The first
I kind of like that the judge quoted the Declaration of Independence and said that the Declaration of Independence was talking about bodies exactly like ICE. You know, how are we going to have a Jeffersonian democracy if we aren't going to think about what Thomas Jefferson said about standing armies in our midst? How many people? There's all these people that love ICE, though. Every single day, they love them. They love them so much. They just love the taste of boot leather, man. They just love it. The more boot leather, the better.
You see is ICE training with slashed records show corroborating whistleblower claims from the Washington Post on yesterday.
Without objection.
The second one is FEMA's response to Texas flood slowed by NOM's cost controls. This is out of CNN from July 10th of 2025.
That's right. All those little girls who died because of the floods in Texas, also because of Kristi Noem. MAGA hates children. MAGA has killed more children in the first year of their administration than any other administration in the history of America. MAGA hates kids. The only thing they like about kids is buying and selling them with their friend Jeffrey Epstein. That's the only thing they're into. MAGA hates kids. They think that 13-year-olds should be working in slaughterhouses. MAGA hates kids. They think that it's okay to bomb a school filled with young girls in Iran. And then they say that women are treated so poorly in Iran. Well, last time I checked, it was America bombing a school full of 160 young girls. MAGA hates kids. MAGA hates them. MAGA hates kids. It really is a tragedy. Anyway, one more, I think.
Thank you, Caroline. Two questions. The Trump administration reportedly is considering arming Kurdish forces in the hopes of inspiring a popular uprising in Iran. Can you comment on that report?
I can comment on the fact that the president has held many calls with partners, allies, and leaders in the region, in the Middle East. He did speak to Kurdish leaders with respect to our base that we have in northern Iraq. But as for any report suggesting that the president has agreed to any such plan is completely false and should not be written.
Oh, look at all the gold he's got over here. We were going to cut off all trade with Spain. Oh, I forgot. Spain said that we're not, because Donald Trump said that Spain was cooperating for the Iranian war, and Spain said, no, we're not. So now Donald Trump is going to say, Spain, we're cutting off all trade with Spain. Fucking asshole. Let's see. MAGA loves their pedophile president. Yes, they hate kids. They only like kids if they can turn a profit. That's the only thing that they like about children. If they can get a good ROI, then they love kids because they can make money off of them. They can use the labor of the boys and use the little girls as sex toys. That's what MAGA wants to do with children. The ones in Africa, kill all of them. Current estimates of how many children will die because of the elimination of PEPFAR and USAID is 15 million children over the next few years. 15 million children have been killed by Donald Trump. Like, you can't kill children, actively and intentionally killing children, and then claim to have the high ground on anything. They're protecting pedophiles, not children. 6 American heroes lost their lives. 0 IDF, life lost like a rock. Yep, there you go. Now you're on to it. You're finding it out. The men can be used as cannon fodder, and the girls can be used as sex slaves. That's how Donald Trump sees children. That's how MAGA sees kids. That's it. If they could do it younger, they'd do it younger. If they could draft 16-year-olds, they'd do it. They're trying to. They're trying to make everyone 14 and over as being able to be tried as adults. They're trying to make it so that the age of consent is 14. And if you do that, why not send them to war at 14? Why not marry them off at 14? Why not? Let's see what he says about Spain.
Not your turn. Not your turn, please.
Mr. President, are you going to take the heat off the Europeans to potentially help you? Mark Rutte called on the allies to also help you.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to ask Mark Rutte. He said not as part of NATO, but to be helpful to you in this.
Well, some of the European nations have been helpful and some haven't. And I'm very surprised. Germany's been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Okay. Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott.
Spain has been terrible because Spain just contradicted. Donald Trump claimed that Spain was supporting the effort in Iran. Spain said, no, we're not. That's a lie. Donald Trump lied. Spain said so. And now Donald Trump is saying that America is no longer going to trade with Spain. Does that not sound like Adolf Hitler to you? Does that not sound like, why does everything have to be this way? You lied about Spain. Spain's like, hey, don't lie about us. And then you throw a fucking fit like a crybaby. Do we have any crybaby emojis in the chat? Do we have any crybaby emojis for MAGA? Donald Trump throwing another conniption fit because he lied about Spain. They said he lied. And now they're saying, we can't fucking trade with you anymore. I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home. Little bitch. Donald Trump's a little bitch. Little bitch-ass old man president with a fucking diaper full of shit, and all you magtards are all just want to just suck his balls, marinating in his own filth. It makes me sick to my stomach what you guys do. What sources show the school was intentionally targeted? It was the first target, Steve. It was the first target, Steve. You're going to tell me it was an accident that they bombed a school? The American military, we've got laser beams that guide gravity bombs, and you're gonna be like, oh well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they accidentally bombed a school full of children. The American government did not accidentally bomb a school full of children during the initial strike. The strike before all the other shit, the one that started it all. We bombed a school in order to get them to react, to retaliate. Jesus Christ, Steve. Who's stupid now? Come on, Steve. You want me to believe in unicorns too? We've got all of this. We've got satellites. I'm not even going to get into it. Well, we must have accidentally bombed all those kids. It was an accident. Of course, America wouldn't kill all these kids. America's still not one child molester from the Epstein files has been prosecuted. Not one. Not one. Representative, what's her name? Paulina Luna is on television reading the names of victims, saying that the victims also helped in some of the rapes. She's reading the names of women. Paulina Luna is reading the names of the women in the Epstein files, but not the men. Not one has been prosecuted. Not one has been indicted. Not one. Not even one. Iran is free. What makes you think Iran is free? Because we're arming the Kurds for a long civil war? I just asked for a source. I didn't know it was divine revelation. You just should have said that. I would have understood. It was divine revelation, Steve. What do you mean divine revelation? We bombed a fucking school for over 165 kids, and you're like, well, how do you prove that was intentional? I get it. So when we kill the Ayatollah, that was intentional. But when we killed a school full of children, that was unintentional. Okay, man. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt for sure. That makes perfect sense. And Iran is free. Iran is free, everybody. Iran is free.
It represents the freedom of speech.
New tonight, rap. I love that. Rap star. Do you see that? That was Afroman. Afroman like small cans. I love that. No. Afroman likes tall cans. That's how it goes. Remember Afroman? I was gonna go to school, but then I got high.
Afroman is speaking out ahead of his trial this month.
His suit just made me smile. He is being sued by Adams County Sheriff's deputies for using a video of them raiding his home in 2022 in one of his music videos.
Afroman filed his own counterclaims against the officers, but a judge recently dismissed those claims without a hearing.
In an interview you'll only see right here on Fox 19 now, Alexis Martin sat down with the Afroman to talk about the raid, the lawsuit, why it was thrown out, and what happens next.
This all started in August of 2022 when Adams County deputies raided the rapper's home, causing significant damage. Afroman says he turned that experience into music, using his own security footage from the raid in a music video to help pay for the repairs. Now he says the lawsuit against him isn't just about the money. He believes it's a violation of his freedom of speech.
Yeah, I think that if the government breaks into your house and your internal security cameras capture it, that's fair play. You're allowed to make music videos about that. What do you think? Do you think that if the government breaks into your house and your security cameras capture it, are you allowed? You own that footage, right? You're allowed to use it, aren't you?
Have freedom of speech. I should be allowed to sing about my life. And police officers that violate my home, steal my money, should not be allowed to sue me.
In August of 2022, Adams County deputies raided the home of Joseph Foreman, better known as the rapper Afroman. They had a search warrant tied to an investigation into possible drugs and kidnapping victims.
They didn't charge me for any crimes. They didn't find no large amounts of marijuana or whatever narcotic they were saying. They didn't find any kidnapping victims.
Afroman was never charged with a crime after the raid. Deputies seized thousands of dollars in cash.
I kind of like that suit. I should get that suit, don't you think? I should get this Afroman suit.
Later returned, but Afroman says about $400 was never recovered. The raid also left damage throughout his home, and he says the department told him it was not responsible for paying for the repairs.
The guy started laughing and waddling his head. He goes, "We're not required to do that." And they were unapologetic.
Afroman used his own security footage from the raids in a music video to make money to pay for the damages sustained to his home.
I got freedom of speech, and then I used my personal life to write my music. I was going to clean my room, but then I got, "Will you help me repair my gate? Will you help me repair my door?" I'm singing about what actually happened to me.
Deputies who appear in the video are now suing the rapper for the damages caused by their faces being in the videos.
Oh, the cops are suing him? They broke into his house! And they didn't charge him. They charged him with nothing. They broke into his house. They damaged his home. They took his fucking money and gave most of it back. But they're going to sue him. Jesus. Like, come on, man. This is America. This is America now, huh? This is what we do. I was gonna go. I was gonna practice my freedom of speech, but then I got high. I was gonna go to the beach, but then I got high. Now the cops broke my fucking arm, and I know why. Hey, hey, 'cause I got high, because I got high, because I got high. Man, brilliant, brilliant. The cops can sue you now for breaking your shit. This is classic fucking MAGA bullshit. MAGA, they'll sue you, they'll kick you in the teeth, and then sue you for breaking their toes on your face. They'll kick you in the teeth and then sue you because they broke their toes. You assaulted me. You're violent. That's how they get you. You're violent. I cracked my knuckle on your face. Look what you did to my knuckle.
Hey, we raid your house. We steal your money. We disconnect your cameras. Now we need to sue you for saying something about it.
Afroman filed a countersuit for the damages to his home, and Judge Jonathan Hines dismissed those charges in February.
They dismissed all of my claims with the click of a mouse in some little office somewhere without a hearing.
Afroman believes this lawsuit violates his free speech rights as an American and as a working artist in the United States.
As a working rapper that raps for a living and pays taxes to America with rap money, I need raw materials. Raw materials is my life experiences.
You can't use your raw materials, talk about the government shutting your shit, breaking into your home and stealing your money. How dare you talk about what we do to our citizens? How dare you? See, this is Iran. Why are we're so different from Iran? Are we really so different? I mean, I know Iran might have been a little bit more extreme about it, but we're basically the same. In principle, we're the same as Iran. You can't talk about the government. You can't rap about the government. How dare you? We're going to break into your home and take shit. Don't talk about it, though. If you talk about the government breaking into your home and taking shit from you, well, that's against the law, too. It's only a matter of time before Trump, a wonderful American, puts Trump in the cry you pedo Nazis trans now facts. Okay, that's interesting. The only reason this war is occurring is because Iran took a video from the Department of Justice showing Donald Trump with an 11-year-old girl in 1991. I mean, maybe they should release it. People keep on saying this shit, that there's PP tapes, and release it. Why are you waiting? Let it go, Iran. I can't believe Iran hasn't mined the Strait of Hormuz. They should do it. Put some mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Go for it, Iran. Let's get crazy, man. You think that you're going to talk your way out of this shit? You're not. It's over. America has its fist in your ass. Are you going to do something, Iran? I don't think so. I don't think Iran's going to do anything about it. I don't think Iran's going to do anything. I want to show you this last thing because it's just kind of a fun one. Watch this guy. Derp-a-derp-a-derp. I'm in an elevator. This thing, so everything's working out just fine. Oh God, I gotta do my job. Oh God, my boss is treating me like shit again. God, I fucking hate my boss. Oh, I can only be alone in this elevator. My fucking boss is always treating me like shit all day. Oh, I just wish I could just wring his goddamn neck. I hate my boss so much. All right. Oh shit! Oh my God. Damn. Oh my God. Imagine this shit. This guy, this poor bastard. This is what you got to do at work now. Like, oh God, I fucking hate my job. Oh, Jesus, this fucking boss of mine. He's fucking my wife, and I can't even do anything about it. There's nothing I can say because he's my boss. I wanted to ask for a raise. I mean, if he's fucking my wife, I should at least get a raise, right? But I can't even get the courage. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. Oh, God. Oh, fuck! Man, the boss was trying to kill him. Man. Oh, shit. He said that guy, he said he almost got ripped in half. He almost got ripped in half. Yeah, he owns the place now. He is fucking my wife. I served in the U.S. military in 2 foreign wars. I am a Reagan Republican. There aren't any Reagan Republicans left. What do you mean? There's no Reagan Republicans left? What's a Reagan Republican? Those are all gone. I know the Constitution, and that's how I understand that we have a Second Amendment obligation to remove Trump from our nation. Well, Serif, you know, I'm just a YouTuber. I can't say things. You know what I can't say on the internet, buddy. You just say some things. You say some things, you're going to get us all canceled, man. You can't say those things. I live in America. I don't have freedom of speech. But I am a practicer of the Second Amendment. I do practice my rights as a Second. I exercise my right, the Second Amendment. And I hope that you do too. I hope that you do too.
It is my pleasure and honor to...
You should always practice your Second Amendment right. Always.
Introduce you all to Councilmember Hilda Montgomery.
Talarico.
Are you fired up and ready to go?
I'm fired up.
Right, that's what I like to hear. Listen, I've known James for about 10 years. He is...
I'm not going to watch this whole speech. All right. You should watch the James Talarico speech. It's pretty good. You should check it out. He did a good speech after he won the primary, and maybe he'll be senator of Texas, the first time in 30 years that a statewide office might go to a Democrat. I mean, it is something, right? I ain't a fan of the Democrats, but... It's better than these MAGA morons we got over there in poor Texas. Oh, man, I love Texas, but geez Louise, Texas. Oh, God, Texas. What are you doing, Texas? You're embarrassing all of us. But, you know, we might have a Democrat in Texas. Yippee, yippee, yippee. James Talarico, and if you got to pick a Democrat, he's a pretty good one, but not so bad. Thank you so much for joining. Lesser of the two, right? Lesser of the two evils, indeed. A ding-dang-doo, says Everett. Thank you so much for the ding-dang-doos. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. It's my birthday on Friday. Thank you all for joining me. I'm thinking about doing a birthday stream just for fun, you know, maybe I can rely on the generosity of my community to help me out on my birthday. I don't know. And plus, you know, what am I going to do? I'm going to, just cry all day on my birthday and drink all day? No, I'm going to come out with you guys. Also, black belt members, you will have your name mentioned. If you're a black belt, by my birthday tomorrow, if you become a black belt channel member, you will be mentioned in the forthcoming book of poetry from the Pushcart nominated and Pulitzer Prize nominated poet, yours truly. The poetry cycle is called the Chris Hemsworth Sonnets. You'll enjoy it. I promise you. You'll like it. Even you maggers will like it. You'll like it. I promise you'll like this book. It will be the #1 book of poetry on Kindle, and you'll be mentioned in it if you are a black belt member of this channel. So please, now's the time. If you've been thinking about it, I'm trying to up my game and do more black belt member content. And also I want to do like a Zoom call with just the black belt members. So I think that'd be cool to do. We have a few members already. I need to get a few more. I'd like to have a few of you guys show up and just have an intimate setting where we're all just kind of hanging out on the internet, talking to each other on like a Google chat, unrecorded, not recorded, just hanging out, talking about revolution and stuff. So thank you. Please hook. I was thinking maybe it'd be cool to do like a book club, like a monthly reading, and talk about this, about some bigger idea stuff, some philosophy stuff. I think that'd be really cool to do. And I was just to do that for the black belts. I think it'd be rad. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down, because I need you. We need each other. The animals need us all. And thanks for the support. Please share a short, and Godspeed, rebels. Yes, there will be an afterglow. The afterglow is starting. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.